Your N-words out now.
Yo, man, motherfucking what? Yo, Hitler did nothing wrong. Oh wait, I'm sorry. We are live.
Oh,
What up, and welcome.
Hitler didn't do anything wrong, dude.
He was a vegetarian. Don't you even fucking
saying,
start.
Man, like, yo, so like we was in that dark alleyway and they were kick fucking this hooker, man. Legit. Like they had this industrial barrel of lube, you know what I mean? And they were just dipping their whole fucking shoe in that bitch and kicking her right in the pussy. Right?
It fucking hurt. Excuse the fuck out of me. What the fuck is that? Kick fucking this hooker a fucking ton already.
Yo, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you gotta like stand here and, you know, start the stream off with, you know what I mean, kick fucking a hooker. You know what I mean? That's the important thing. Every once in a while you gotta do that shit.
Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I have not kick fucked a hooker at the beginning of every one of my streams, so maybe fucking you've hacked the algorithm,
Jordan,
sir.
Come here, lay down.
Legit, you know, like I don't know what to tell you. You know, I mean, sometimes you got to start a stream off that way. You know, like fucking if you wanted to go the whole way with it, I figured maybe, you know, I mean, we could just like kick fuck a hooker and start with a fucking giant fucking jug of industrial lube. You know, I mean, if that's the way we're gonna go. And TK Mal, what up, my brother? How the fuck you doing? Yo, Jermonger Locuson, welcome to the.
So, what's the difference? What is the difference between industrial lube and just consumer grade lube? Like,
well, like one's gonna be like 10 weight, the other one's gonna be like 50 weight. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be more lubricant-ish. More
luber for your dog. You gotta understand over here, you got your customer grade, consumer grade pussy bitch lube. That's only like 5 lubers. There's like 6 luber points, 5.6 lubers. You got industrial grade, that's 50 lubers right there. And you can fucking drive a train up a virgin's twat with this thing. You understand me?
Okay, look, I'm telling you, we use this shit here to grease down industrial fucking motors. All right, these are the type of things that you need. It works up to 400 psi or about 4 or 5 fucking ankles deep in a fucking blood. All right, you know, it just depends on who you're talking to.
It can run a diesel train or exactly one fucking Twitch Thoughts OnlyFans.
We use this in the fucking Ford 9-inch rear end for fucking drag racing and shit. All right, it works at high temperatures.
For drag queen story hour.
Yo, we got all the dinosaurs and vitamins you need. Like when it comes down
to dinosaurs. Oh shit, lad.
Yeah, man. Like, so we were having a really good discussion, and then these niggas started bringing up about Hitler not doing nothing wrong or some shit. You know what I mean? Hey. Like,
we've already established he was a vegetarian, so he wasn't perfect.
Yeah,
well, this is Fat true. Andy, man, legit.
He had the right idea when it came to the Jews, though.
Yo, look, no. Here's the thing, okay? Like, I don't care. All right, here's the thing, all right, legit. I think the Jew thing was wrong, but the communist thing was right, all right, legit. Like, you know, the communists were like the lowest forms of life to Hitler, all right? On his list, it was like, you know, it was like
white. Well, the problem is a lot of the communists were Jews. He probably just should have differentiated.
Yeah.
Yo, man, radical bearded bicyclists. I did a whole video on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She died. Right. You know what I'm saying? She spent, 40 years serving on an appellate. Well, she had like, what was it?
And I'm sure she's looking up at us from hell as we speak.
Yeah, look, man, I'm not going to speak ill of the dead. You know,
everyone knows reptiles don't have souls.
I can do it if you don't want to. I'll speak ill of that fucking whore.
Yo, look, man. All right. Yo, look, how many of us are out here fighting on the level that broad's fighting for feminism?
Well, when you're that age, I mean, I'm pretty sure getting out of bed was fighting for her.
Wait, how many like feminist faces do I have to ejaculate in until like I'm fighting as hard for what I believe in?
Yeah, that's a lot of calories.
Yo, Fat Andy, how the fuck you doing? You know what I'm saying? Miss C Gypsy, how you doing? The Koi Cola,
far behind.
Michael Hatfield, man, what's going on, partner? You know, like, man, listen, you know, fucking, we were having a really good discussion about some shit, and then we got on to Hitler, and then commies, and then kick fucking a hooker with industrial lube. And I'm like, yo, look, the fucking stream moves on, you know, with Josh Redemers, what's going on, my brother? How the fuck you doing? But I always say what's up to my chat because, like, yo, they come out and they support me and they show love, you know what I mean? They fucking, you know what I mean? They keep trying to tell me what's going on. You're still stunned about what? about motherfucking the kick fucking a hooker. You know what I'm saying? Or like what? Which one? What are you stunned about?
He was
man?
providing a public service. He was just getting the rat out. It's not a big deal. Calm down.
He said he was getting the rat out.
Look, sometimes rats look for nasty, disgusting places to live, and sometimes they find e-girls, and sometimes you got to get it out.
I agree with you. Yo, aircraft here, man. Fucking here, dude. Fuck, come join the goddamn stream. It's in the goddamn fucking chat. Come in, hang the fuck out. For real, retard. What up, man? Welcome. Nice to see you out here. Yo, that's the guy's name is For Real Retard.
For real? Is this the For Real Retard?
That's the For Real Retard, yo. He gave me a thumbs up.
Not for fake retard.
The retarded genius also gave me a thumbs up.
I don't believe you. Let me see your chromosomes right now. Sure.
Yo, look, I was just having a discussion in Discord earlier about a kid who I thought like his parents are fucking related. Legit. Like, yo, is it wrong? Like when you look at a little kid sometimes, like you see little kids, you're like, man, I want to take that nigga's lunch money. Is that a wrong fucking feeling to have? Like, yo, when like you see a kid with no chin.
When you see like a kid that's like shockingly Leafy-esque, yeah, that's you have to want to bully people who look like that. It's not even like you don't act on it. I'm not saying drop kick a 5-year-old, but every now and then you see a kid, you're like, oh no, oh you don't have a you don't have an achievement in your future, sir.
I mean, I've never seen a kid and wanted to like hit him. But I was going for a walk this one time, and there was this kid. He couldn't have been like more than 12 years old, and he had he was wearing like this green army jacket with no shirt on, and he had like long flowing blonde hair, and he was riding like this tiny little like 50cc dirt bike, and he just goes flying past me, and my thought was, oh my god, that kid's gonna be drowning in pussy in like 5 years,
and he's gonna have no idea why, and he's gonna peak at fucking 15. And he's gonna work at a loading dock till he's 80. He dies of lung cancer.
Or he'll be smart and he'll be the next Brad Pitt. You know, you never know, really.
And by smart, you mean that he'll get fucking scouted by a pedo.
I got literally no issue, right? Legit. Like, here's my thing. If I see a kid with pocket protectors and shit, I'm like, he's a nerd, whatever. He's just smart, right? Or if I see a kid, you know what I'm saying? He's just a tall, lanky fuck. I'm like, he'll grow into his shit. But when you see like a 10-year-old kid and he got like fucking love handles and hips and his shoulders is smaller than his waist and he has no chin, you're like, man, listen, dude, like, yo, the human race should have not produced you. Like, yo, why is it that you're fucking alive? Like, I don't fucking understand. You know what I mean? Like, that's the mentality I get down to.
There's a YouTuber called The Jolly Heretic, and he's an anthropologist who obviously is on the wrong side of history. Disavow, cough, cough. But he has a whole bunch of videos, live streams, where he breaks down like the genetic degradation of, Western civilization, and just how so many of the best traits have been removed from the gene pool because of a lot of very progressive decisions that we've made, because we're all stunning and brave and we don't give a fuck about the human race, I guess.
This dude got his nipples out right now. He got the bandana on with the fucking receding hairline and the nipples is out.
Hold on. What do you mean the nipples is out? Explain yourself, sir.
Look at the fucking screen. God damn it. Look at the screen.
I'm looking at the screen. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing the internet wrong. All I see is our little icons.
Nah, Steel Snake got his nipples out right now.
I can't see your shit. I guess I will have to miss out on this cam show.
They have to refresh, brother. I mean, it's a horror sight. You really don't want to see it.
Yo, he's jacked though. I'll be real with you, man. Yo, Steel Snake, yo, and I mean, he ain't no fat fuck, legit. Yo, this motherfucker actually refreshed his goddamn screen and shit, and he got the brass knuckles on. Legit. What's going on, my brother? How you living?
Man, how's everything going with you, man? I just got done watching your RBG video. You did her justice, man. Unlike Mitch McConnell, I try to be principled. I really do.
There we go.
I'm a complete shill. Trump 2020, but I'm looking at this woman. Her death wasn't even announced an hour ago, and Mitch McConnell's like, "Yeah, we're gonna vote on the next nominee immediately." Trump, put that shit up, yo. And I'm just like, are you kidding me, dude? The body ain't even fucking cold, dude. They
The
haven't
body's
even wiped
been
her
cold
ass.
for 10 years. She's a lizard.
Ah, dude, man,
Yo, we got
you don't have to
we got
agree.
object of hate and my nigga Tennessee Marines in the chat. I gotta holler at my boy Tennessee Marine. What up, man? Fucking welcome,
What's
brother.
up,
Welcome.
Tennessee, man?
Yeah, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah, you gotta hook your microphone back up, my brother. Like, yo, fucking Frost, it kicked you out. It wasn't me. I don't know what the fuck happened. Hold up. There we go. All right. And I'm getting back.
What's up, Snake? You worried about coronavirus?
Am I worried? No, I'm not worried about coronavirus. Coronavirus can fuck off.
He's worried about commies. They're way more deadly.
No,
No,
I don't really want my face associated with this, so that's about all.
No, like some internet sleuths are going to patch up the eyebrows to the nipples to the nose.
Being associated with this, so if it's this bad now, it can only get worse.
So legit. If I ever see somebody that looks like you on the street, I'm like, let me see your nipples. Like, yo, I want to know if it's you.
Is that you, Snake? I thought I saw those perky nipples somewhere. Oh shit, lad. Oh shit.
Yeah, well, fucking man, listen, look, as far as I'm concerned, I just want to do the opposite of what everybody else is going to do. Right? I know everybody else is going to go, oh man, fuck this bitch. Just kind of like, I'm going to go respectful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just
man.
the opposite of everybody else, just to be a contrarian.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to do it to be a contrarian. I'm just not a piece of shit. I'm just saying. I mean, I didn't know the broad. It's not like I'm going to sit there and go, oh yeah, she's a fucking whore and all this other shit because I disagreed with her politically.
Well, you can't argue that it's objectively a good thing that she's dead, though. Like, fuck her. My life will improve now that she is dead. I don't care. Like,
how?
100% agree.
I mean, I'm failing to see how.
So we have a question. We have a question from the chat. Tennessee Marine wants to know why it is that fucking Steel Snake let a little kid fucking tattoo the top of his hand.
Well,
this one or
really an episode symbol?
Yo, I gotta say what up to Kooky Carl, the Goblin Slayer, and motherfucking Acadia, Cult, Curio Shop, Autumn Storm, HP. Nigga, that's a lot of shit to be saying. You need to make your fucking name shorter.
What the fuck are these long ass names? Everybody's trying to brand themselves.
The other one with the skulls is what he said. The other one with the skulls. I thought it looked all right. Legit. Fucking. That is not bad. That is not a terrible tattoo. Legit. It's way better than mine. Mine's a fucking piece of shit on the top of my hand. I let a drunk dude tattoo me.
Oh, man.
Well, that'll fucking do it. Oh, shit.
Anyway, but yeah, I used to do a trick competition, so.
What the fuck weird backwater fucking boonies has butterfly knife competitions?
Yo, he's in West Virginia.
You can't have that in person because that's about as legal as a cocaine snorting competition, but you can upload clips to YouTube and be judged.
Bro, so, the 80s called they want their edgy knifery back. I'm just saying.
Yo, I'm just saying, bro, you're Dynamite Disco Danny dancing devastating again.
You know why? You know why those fucking knives are illegal? It isn't even a cool fucking reason. It's just they came out and then everyone found out you could do tricks with them, but then everyone kept coming to the hospital with their fingers all hacked to shit, and so they're just like, okay, just leave it at home. No, just no. You stop that, and that stops nobody. Yeah, butterfly knives, you can't carry them on you. You can own them like swords, but you can't walk around with a claymore.
Oh, you must not live in, God's America where you can carry a sword. Gotcha.
In Ohio and West Virginia.
I live in Ginsburg's America.
I live in Oklahoma. Man, you can carry damn near anything. It's awesome.
Yeah, like I could literally have like a flaming chainsaw launcher in my pants. Like they don't care. There's no law against it. I
wonder if the whole the butterfly knives being a legal thing is like the whole turning your dome light on in your car is illegal. Like it's an urban myth that everyone's heard and just believe. Because I've never actually looked at the laws on that.
Well, it really depends on what state you're in, to be honest.
Yeah,
Of course, the bluer your state, the more of everything is restricted. Tom P. Really he can't carry much of anything.
Oh no, we can open carry any gun.
Oh no, you can open carry. You can't constitutionally carry. There's difference.
That is constitutionally, I can carry a gun on my back if I want to. It's just dumb.
Just if you get caught, you go into
no. Legally, I'm allowed to carry a gun. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's like open, and I can go and get a fucking concealed carry permit. Like it's legal to go get a permit and shit and do it. But like you just got to have like the fucking local sheriff say it's okay, because not like because like if you have domestic violence charges or any of that type of bullshit, like you're not allowed to fucking have a fucking concealed carry license. You know what I mean? Like that's the rule. You know what I mean? That's how they do things up here. And by the way, the butterfly knife thing legit is like New Jersey and New York, where it's like, you know what I mean, really illegal. And it's mostly because Puerto Ricans were running around stabbing everybody back in the 1970s and 80s and shit with butterfly knives.
It's a good thing laws work on criminals.
Anyway, right. So like, we was having a really good discussion on Discord, and fucking never goddamn carries the fuck over into the stream. It always starts up.
Yeah, we immediately start talking about hookers and kicking rats and fucking. But yes, we were talking about the rat. Ironically enough, back to rats, we were talking about the rat utopia and the effects of cities on political discourse and general like mass psychosis, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you know, we were getting into like the conversation about how, like, you know, kids are a luxury in the city and they're fucking, you know, I mean, useful if you have a farm. And I mean, the agrarian society is like, you know, you could have a whole bunch of kids. This motherfucker legit, your shit disconnect again. I don't know what the deal is. Fuck, I'll bring you in as soon as it says I can. There we go. All right, we'll bring him back. Yo, because like he was having Frost was getting it in with me, right? Yeah, so we were standing here talking about how, like, you know, kids were a luxury in the cities, and then, you know, I mean, fucking they're, you know, I mean, positive in the agrarian society. And that's why America has millennials, is because like we have massive suburbs and lots of land, unlike places like Europe or fucking Asia where they're packed in like fucking sardines into all these cities and shit, and they're not having any kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so therefore, you know what I mean, like we get into this conversation about how like we human beings aren't really made to live in cities, because like the moment you start living inside of a city, you become weak. Fucking like Genghis Khan used to say that same shit. He said, I don't want my kids living in cities. I want them to be on the steppes out here hunting for their food and, you know what I mean, living their lives and doing what they want to do. Sir Smackabear, what up, man? You know what I mean?
There is really something. There really is something primal and I don't even know what you would call it, metaphysical, about the environment that you expose yourself to and the type of person that you become after exposing yourself to that environment for an extended period of time. Most people, it's so bizarre that humans we're averse to conflict, and we're averse to things that cause negative stimuli, you know. Not serotonin, but the other one, the fucking stress hormone. It escapes me right now, but we have an aversion to that, and yet we need it so much to keep ourselves from going fucking crazy. It's such a bizarre, paradoxical way for an organism to function, that we need things that try to kill us to keep us from trying to kill ourselves.
Like speaking of hunting, I'm actually going down to Texas sometime in the next year to go spear hunting wild boar with a friend. That'll be fun.
Oh, dude, I want to go wild boar hunting so fucking bad.
Dude, spear hunting a wild boar is no fucking game, man. You make sure you have a buddy who knows what the shit he's doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be two of us. We both know how to hunt with blades, and I'll be bringing 2 boar spear tips, 2 boar daggers, and we'll each have a sidearm. So yeah, we should be fine.
Yeah, when I'd say
at least one long gun between you.
One at a time, niggas. One at a time.
Oh, he was saying what I was saying. Have a long gun, and yeah, he was saying 300 blackout, definitely.
Yeah.
Yo, man, like even then, 357 Magnum, something to fucking, you know, you can quick draw and fucking pop something if it fucking runs at you. Fucking highly, it's something with some stopping power.
Not a 9mm. 9mm bounces right off their skull.
Oh yeah.
Again, I said 357. Ain't that what didn't I just say at 357? Like, yo, Bring you a fucking Desert Eagle, something serious to fucking, you know what I mean, something that'll drop a motherfucking shit.
You know, that
but
is
anyway,
about the only thing you cannot conceal carry a 50 cal in the state of Oklahoma.
Is fucking a fat feminist
okay, so
technically
Jordan's
boar
mother has
hunting
a
with a spear?
357 revolver I could borrow and take. I might just do that.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
yeah. You know what I mean? Get you something, you know what I mean, you can pull out quick and just pop something if you need to. You know what I mean? Like fucking it just is what it is. You need something with some serious horsepower, you know what I mean? That'll probably, you know what I mean, break the bones in your hand if you fire it too much. But like legit, it's gonna drop a goddamn fucking boar coming at you. Remember, these are like what 400 or 500 pound fucking animals with massive fucking skulls like bears. Legit. It's not a fucking joke. They have tusks that'll tear you apart. It's a very, very serious fucking animal. But anyway, right? Yeah, like yo, okay, so how do I put this? Human beings have a very, very hard time living when they don't have fucking something to fucking conflict with them living. Like, and they turn into these soft, weak fucking creatures. And it's been this way since the beginning of mankind. Legit. You know, like we say that fucking cycle, like hard men make fucking good times make weak men make hard times. And I mean, and then fucking hard times make, you know, I mean, great men again. Like that just tends to be how it fucking operates. And that's why, like, you know, societies fucking fall and collapse as far as shit's really concerned. Like Machiavelli, he actually pointed out, like, you know, when you have a society, when in the discourses on Levy, and I mean, Levy actually was the one who actually pointed it out. He said, you know, when you have a society and you're starting a society, the fucking ground in which they live on is as important as the people itself, because it forces, like, if you have a ground that's a little bit harsh, but not too fucking harsh, it's better than having ground where like food just basically fucking falls out of the fucking trees and shit. And I mean, because people will become lazy and fucking worthless. You know what I mean?
Bonobo protocol.
Yeah, you know, it's like in Africa. Like if you have fucking fruit in the goddamn trees and, you know what I mean, animals everywhere to fucking eat, you're not going to fucking, you know what I mean, build a good society that you have to store food over the fucking winter.
No, you got to kill all the white people and become Zimbabwe.
Or South Africa.
Or, you know, name a place where white people ran away from.
Ghana, like, you know, Uganda, you know, I mean, like Nigeria, and like, yeah, there's all them fucking shit.
Oh,
dick
Pinoid.
pills make soft men hard.
You Uncle Tom ass nigga.
I'm not even black. I'm Italian. So, like, it is what it is.
I mean, that is the black of the Caucasians.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
They do have BBCs.
We were over here having a conversation earlier about how, like, in Italy, like, they're reviving honor killings, right? Because like up until like the 1990s, you were allowed to kill your wife if she fucking cheated on you in Italy. Like
Oof.
that was just a normal thing, right? Like, yo, like it kind of is what it is, you know. Like,
are they gonna add a button on Tinder where you could just that's my wife, kill her, just set out a bounty, you can pay in like credits, like, like dono diamonds. They're
letting dudes out of jail for killing their wives in Italy right now.
It's fucking nuts. Now are they Italians or are they Muslim?
Italians.
Weird. I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, Italians. Yeah, you probably won't. And like Italians are a different breed of human being. Like,
I have a friend who lives in Italy. How has he not told me about this?
I don't know. I found a fucking article on fucking whatchamacallit today. I put it in the fucking Discord chat and fucking, which I'll pull it back up later on.
Dude,
I'm not gonna do it right
I
now.
might take my wife to Italy, and if she acts up, I'll fucking cut off her head.
I mean, it makes sense. Best girl Marzia is from Italy, so I mean, like, there's got to be something in the water.
Like you remember watching The Godfather, right? Like The Godfather was like probably the truest depiction of what Italy was, right? Like legit, like they say women are more dangerous than shotguns, right? Because like legit, they'll fucking murk you over a female.
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah, like it's just how it operates, and that's just normal for us. You know what I mean?
It's so fucking weird just how irrational women get when it comes to like the evolutionary instincts, because just because you're fucking another chick on the side does not mean she's going to lose access to all of her resources. And yet the possibility of losing her resources triggers some sort of like primal evolutionary rage where they just flip their fucking shit if they even catch you looking at another chick.
Okay, so I somehow beat that because
well, we know you found a unicorn.
Well, right. I was about to say, yeah, like I have fun on the side, and she doesn't care because I'm not gonna leave. Why would I leave her for them? Because she'll let me sleep with other women if I start dating them. They won't do that. Like she has every other woman beat.
Yeah,
well, like I used to have bitches bring me other bitches. Like that's a normal.
That's some real fucking pimp shit. Like once you turn a girl into a recruiter. Oof.
It's really hard to arrange. Like I've seen her do it. Like if you tell a woman, "Hey, do you want to come fuck my boyfriend?" They don't really say yes that often.
No, they usually do if it's another woman approaching them.
You can train a woman to be a good fucking recruiter if she has a natural knack for it. Like you can just point at a girl at a bar and be like, "Hey, we're taking her home tonight," and she'll go over and she can do her girly shit and tee sisters, blah blah blah.
Knack for it.
What's up?
I said Jordan does not have a knack for recruiting or talking or any kind of.
Well,
seduction.
No one's perfect.
Well, it's legit. Yeah. You have to get Jordan drunk and then have a recruit, right?
No, you do not want a drunk chick trying to tell a sober chick or a drunk chick we should fuck my husband. You do. It's so embarrassing when they get rejected.
Well, no, I'm telling you, she can't even drink. Like after like 3 beers, she just falls down and starts screaming shit.
I don't know why, but I just imagine that animated in Rick and Morty.
I had this all set up one night, right? Legit. Like I had this whole thing set up one night, right? Where like fucking I had this cross-eyed bitch. I used to call her Google.Chrome. Like one eye was looking at me, the other one was looking right at the camera and shit, right? You know what I mean? She was a thoroughbred. Like this chick, she went from pussy to asshole on top mid-stroke. You know what I'm saying? And didn't miss a fucking beat. She was a fucking soldier, right?
What a good
girl. We were downstairs drinking. What up? Let's say we were downstairs drinking moonshine one night, right? And like, peace, motherfucker, my brother. You know what I mean? Nice seeing you out here. Fucking, yeah, we was out here drinking moonshine one night. I was drinking this apple pie shine and Budweiser and shit. And we were all drinking and partying and hanging out. And like, I mean, neighbors had the speakers in the windows. You know, we were getting it in. And this little fucking like 18-year-old kid comes up. And like my bitch, she had already talked this broad into going to fuck. You know what I mean? Fucking. Legit, yeah, my boy fucking Danny over here, he done got me laid on the internet. We had a boob off and I ended up going and fucking this one bitch off the internet and shit. But anyway, right, so fucking what the hell? Oh yeah, fucking, so like I had this broad all set up, right? Like my female, you know what I mean, she had her all talked into fucking coming up and getting it done. But this fucking 18-year-old kid kept playing Justin Bieber on his fucking iPhone and shit, right? Well, we were over here listening like Journey and I mean fucking what the hell, like fucking Queen and fucking, you know, Metallica or whatever. And we were all jamming out, like being grown-ups, you know what I'm saying? And this kid kept fucking putting on his Justin Bieber and shit. And like I was like, dude, turn that shit the fuck off. And he was like, no, man. He's like, I'm turn that shit the fuck off, dude. And he's like, no, man. I was like, turn that shit the fuck off. And fucking he like put the phone in my face. He's like, what you gonna do? And I grabbed this little nigga by his ankles and I picked him up and I dunked him into the concrete and wrapped his legs around his fucking head. Right? And legit,
as you do.
Everybody outside started running the fuck away like fucking roaches when the lights come on. Right? And I fucked up the whole goddamn night. And I ended up like, I looked at him because like he was scared shit. I let him the fuck go and I went upstairs myself. So I ended up standing here, motherfucking the next day. His mom came over and she was like, why you gotta fucking put hands on my kid? I was like, why don't you control your fucking kid? And then she like touched her nipples and I went and fucked her. But I'm saying like legit.
She touched her nipple. Oh, fuck her. You come back, grab the kid by the top of the head. He goes, I'm your new daddy. What's up?
Like, I'll take you fishing home. Legit though, I took her kids fishing and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the one night, this bitch, she had like 6 kids and a husband. She come to my door one night with all 6 of her fucking kids. Like, I'm here to live with you. Right? And I'm like, nah, take your ass back to your husband. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my God. What the hell?
And she was there to live with you?
Mm-hmm. And that's the time Tom P said, no, that's not how this works.
No,
What
I got two bedroom on the third floor. Can we?
That's
Like,
some,
you know
like-
how much I pay in child support already? Bitch, I don't need more.
Oh,
That's some fucking turbo level entitlement right there. That happens so often. It kind of ruined the fucking PUA game for me because I got so fucking tired of like just having a fun fuck and then immediately them flipping their shit when they find out, one, they're not the only one, and two, we're not dating officially. Like, what did you think this was? But it over
Wait.
and over and over again.
Wait, so like, did you like at any point like imply even that
No.
was going to be
No,
monogamous or anything?
they think their pussy is dog cock. Once you touch it, they peed on it, they own it. It's theirs now. It's like no. But I don't know. I guess that there are a lot of guys. Patrice O'Neill did a hilarious joke about this, where he talks about fucking women is like fishing. You go out and you take your little boat out and you practice a little bit, and then you throw your reel out, and then you catch one, and then you take a picture to show your friends that you can catch fish, and then you throw it back. You release it into the wild, and then he stops and looks at the audience. And some of you here tonight are here with a fish that jumped back in the boat and said, "Where are you going?" And you didn't throw it back in the water because you didn't want to make the fish feel bad. And apparently that's a big thing. A lot of girls will like they'll meet a guy. The guy thinks it's a sport fuck, and he doesn't have the fucking balls to rip their heart out the moment they go, no,
Right.
no.
I try to let women know like at the start like exactly what they're in for. This is my I have a Tinder, and this is my bio. It says, "I'm looking for a whore with daddy issues and a sweet front butt. I have a big dick and I know how to use it." That is all.
And a sweet front
What
butt.
differentiates a
What are they
sweet
going
and a
after?
sour front butt?
Because I mean, if he's looking for a sweet front butt, isn't that like a gunt? So she's looking for Ethan Ralph.
He's looking for Ethan fucking Ralph.
oh my god, man! Like, yo, what is going on with everybody talking about Ethan Ralph here recently?
Oh,
man?
it's old dumb shit. So there's, and this is actually a really fascinating topic that we can get into more instead of just like it turning
No, it
into.
isn't. It's quite sad.
No. But like, so yes, the topic itself is sad, but the conversation around it is fascinating. So ever since internet blood sports, there's just been these fragmentations of shows and constant infighting in what you would loosely call the old. What's up?
Fucking Tonka, Cog, Ethan, Medicare, fucking Worski.
All them. Yeah. Everyone's stuck a knife into somebody someplace, and everyone like just this constant infighting and back and forth, and it's just sort of all the threads have become really frayed. So Ethan Ralph was one of the last hangers on. He's got a show that's sort of coasting off of its once success, because Ethan Ralph's show was kind of like the Opie and Anthony of YouTube for a while. The kill stream would attract all kinds of crazy, fucked up people, and eventually, of course, it got the Susans. So he's been sort of hanging on, but recently, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. He got himself an 18-year-old girlfriend, but she like wasn't even hot. She was like really frumpy. I mean, I guess if you like stuck her in a camp and you like put her on like a 3-month keto training regimen, she could be fairly attractive, but she was.
Bro, if you're gut-tastic though, that's like dime for him.
I mean, well, that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Come on. He's like what? He's 36 years old, and he's got the waistline. He's got the waistline of a 60-year-old
5'4", I think, 375 pounds, something like that. And he's also an alcoholic. Like he does not go a day without drinking, and he never does a show sober. So this guy is on the fast train to fucking Corpseville. So he gets an 18-year-old girl, and he's like flaunting her on the show, and he's like uploading like videos of her in the whatever, and the kind of people that Ethan Ralph attracts as far as his show and that corner of the internet, and we can dive deeper into this, which I think is really fascinating. But they attract what I call the cynics and the throat cutters. And these kinds of people don't like nice things, and they don't like anything. So when he's out here like flashing around this 18-year-old chick, they're just like, you're fucking pathetic, whatever. And then she broke it off with him because of course she did, because of course this girl is mentally ill and was taken advantage of by this. And I hate taking advantage of. It's used so much, but like, come on, like he 100% like tried to leverage his show fame to get pussy. And so she breaks up with him, and then he uploads one of the most unflattering revenge porn tapes I've ever seen in my life, where he's just laying there like a beached whale that's slowly running out of fucking fluids, while this giant fucking shelf of hips just bobs up and down on his semi-hard dick. And then at one point he shoves his thumb up her pooper, pulls it out, and audibly sniffs it loudly. And that's what he did. And so that was technically revenge porn. And so now he's like on damage control because people are like, you're going to jail, stupid. And her dad seems to, so she's moved back in with her family, and her family seems to be lovely, well-adjusted people that didn't absolutely raise a whore, because her dad is now selling t-shirts on a website called aborttheretort.com. So he's trying to monetize the backlash against Ralph to make a quick buck off the fact that his daughter got her fucking pooper stretched by Ralph's nubby little alcoholic thumb on the internet. And the entire thing is just like watching two homeless people fighting with feces. It's sad, it's disgusting, but you're kind of compelled to look for a little bit.
Oh, but the daughter is not living with the family. She is with Ethan now.
Oh, she went back.
Yeah. Got to watch Drummer 828 to keep up on all that.
Oh, good decisions all around.
I thought Ethan was married.
Ethan got divorced. After the Tonka Saw bullshit. He had an affair with some Brimolo.
So he got married to a 20-year-old when he was 30, and then like 3 years into the marriage or so, she's like, things started getting rocky because she's not a child anymore, and she realized, holy shit, I married a fucking manlet man baby alcoholic. So they got a divorce, and apparently that fucked him up so bad. And I don't understand why, because I've seen his ex-wife and I don't know anything about her aside from that she is ghastly to look at. But if that is what fucks you up, okay.
Yo, Pop and Hop, what up, man? Fucking like, yo, Jonathan Doe, what up, man? Like, I just don't understand, like, yo, why everybody pays attention to these fucking people. Like, legit, like their shit has fucking been garbage forever. Like,
people like
all these motherfuckers. Like,
That's
yo, I don't understand. It's
the Jerry Springer effect, man. We like to watch people who are way more disgusting, weird, broken, fucked up than us because it gives you a little dopamine boost. You're like, well, fuck, at least I have 2 feet. Shit.
Yeah, like Jordan and I love to watch like My 600-Pound Life and like Hoarders and stuff like that. It's just I don't know why.
I never got into any of that shit, man. Like I fucking
you don't
watch
need to. It's a waste of time.
Documentaries and shit.
You really don't need to.
Oh no.
But there is something. There's a more fascinating. There is a more fascinating undertone that I think we could delve into on here, is the types of people that are attracted to those communities and the interesting, like, almost like divinely self-managing way that these systems of people all kill each other constantly. It's a system of people who all just rip on people who are more unpleasant than them. So you've got like the Josh Moon from Kiwi Farms. It's Kiwi Farms. Do I need to say more about what happens on Kiwi Farms? And then you've got the Ralph Retort, which is basically kind of the same thing. They shit on people. Then you've got Dick Masterson. His whole thing is kind of like, he's kind of like the last shock jock. And so their whole thing is just to be disrespectful and over the top, offensive. And they attract the most rabid psychopathic super fans that will kill them as quickly as they'll buy their merch. And it always bites them in the ass. And it's so fascinating to watch.
Well, and then there's still Andy Worski, who is somewhere in the orbit around them at any time.
I have no idea what he's up to. Last time I saw, he he quote unquote won his fight with Tonka because Tonka didn't show, and then there was the get back thing.
Last time I saw Worski, he was in Miami, and like,
stay the fuck back.
Like, I'll be honest with you. The one out of that whole situation that I think should have looked the worst was Failure. Legit. Because
Failure ever looked
what
good?
happened to Failure?
Failure got punched in the face twice, right? And then just kept backing up and letting motherfuckers hit him.
No, well, Alex got it way worse than Failure because Alex got arrested for that shit.
Well, that's because he pointed a gun at someone.
I don't care about Alex. I'm saying, like, legit. Like, my man's is like, Failure's a big motherfucker, right?
That's kind of the point, though. Like, a normal man punching Failure is like a cat punching a normal man. It's like, ow, stop that. Quit it. Ow.
Like, but legit, he was getting busted up by a little dude. Like, he didn't even grab a hold of him and slam him, nothing. And I was standing here and I'm like, the fuck is this fucking bullshit?
But Failure's never pretended to be a tough guy. He did a little bit of wrestling. He's trained in boxing, but he's never once acted like he's about it. He's down to get it and fight all the time. He's just been kind of your lovable oaf his entire internet career.
You don't really need to be a tough guy if you pass out on somebody, you kill them. Like
legit though. Like,
he's a big lad.
I have no respect for a motherfucker to let somebody punch him in the fucking face and just get away with it and not do shit to him. Like, that would have been like, World War III for me. Like, I'd have, like, I've been picked up a brick. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, no, you're not hitting me in the fucking face on camera and getting the fuck away with it.
I'm pretty sure Failure is scared of getting ass raped in jail, though.
I don't care. Legit, I don't give a fuck.
Who the fuck would try to ass rape Failure? Oh my God, does somebody have an elephant fetish? No. Like I said, he'll just sit on your cock and kill you.
Tom P would ass rape him just to try to show you how alpha he was.
That's how it would work. Legit, like somebody would walk up and like, let me tell you something. Man butt is more important than air. Like,
I don't fucking care. The minute the guy gets his dick in you, you just sit down and you snap both his femurs like twigs. It's over, Johnny. His femur and his cock just snapped off at the base.
Somebody would take him just for general purpose. Like, that legit would happen. There'd be some motherfucking black Sambo motherfucker just come up and just take that shit from him. Like, it'd be what it is. Like, he wouldn't even have an opportunity. When them big swole ass motherfuckers grab a hold of him and it'd be the end of it. They're like fucking the world's strongest man just racking a fucking goddamn piano and shit and throwing it over top of fucking brick wall or something. Just fucking, he would have ripped that.
Maybe there's a little boogie in Failure, Maybe there's a little of that gentle giant afraid to do anything even though you're giant kind of shit. I don't know, man. Legit, like somebody, look, here's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna get punched in the face, right? While like 3 dudes is coming at me. It's like, I'm fucking swinging. Like, there's no reason why somebody should be able to walk up and just punch you in the mouth and like you'll just get away with it. I wonder how much of that is sort of like metaphorical, like back to what we were talking about as far as like people living in cities never developing the grit to survive outside the cities. If you're a big motherfucker from the time you're like 15, 16 and on, do you sort of lose that fight or flight kind of thing because you're just like, well, I'm fucking giant, so I don't worry about it?
I don't think that's a suburban thing, man. Or a city thing. I think that's a suburban thing, right? Like, because if you come up in a fucking city, like, Brooklyn or Compton or fucking Atlanta,
yeah, you're talking the ghetto, of course.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you
in
have
a city
to fight.
like that, yeah, you're always gonna have that mentality. Like, that's why I'm the way I am, because there's no choice to me. Like, it's always been this way. Back to the wall, fucking doing what you got to do. Only white kid in a bad neighborhood. Like, you have to fucking learn how to scrap. And again, like, you get to the point where you go, like, these soft, weak motherfuckers, like in the suburbs, just I don't know, man, just completely protected. This is where all this Antifa shit comes from. I mean, these are all suburban kids. They're not fucking like.
Oh, of course. Yeah, like if you just watch a single video of them fighting and you have any sort of history and like not even in street fighting, just history in martial arts or whatever, you can see that there's no commitment behind the strike.
Black bloc rioters are from the inner city, and they can fight a little bit better than Antifa, but I'm not saying that I want them around either.
What's the difference between Black Bloc and Antifa? I thought they were identical. I thought they were the same people.
There's not really a clear distinction, but anyone like if like what was the city where the one black dude was screaming "kill all the fucking cops" as he threw a Molotov into a fire truck?
Oh yeah, kill these motherfucking cops, kill their kids too. That guy.
Yeah, there's not a clear distinction. Like they don't have like a recruitment, so I don't really know who fights for who, but there are like several organizations that do this stuff.
Yeah, Antifa, from what I understand, is the Black Bloc type of agitators. They're the ones who emulate the Italian and the German antifascistas movement from back in the day, and they're the ones who also brand the three arrows, the three strike arrows that go across the swastika from the from that whole Nazi communist conflict back in the 40s or 30s rather. But yeah, at this point, it's the Black Bloc is no longer needed because these rioters go out under the cover of night, and thanks to Rona, everyone is wearing a mask. So now they don't even need to Black Bloc it up. They can just use the crowd to get away.
Yep.
But
yeah, I find
Trump's cracking down on that.
Yeah, like that isn't hard to deal with. You know, like you just gotta fucking put some police out here and fucking do what you got to do. Like I'm not a huge fan of police. Like personally, I would like to see like actual citizens come out and like really conflict with these people and fucking just have it the fuck out. Like whatever. Like just have fucking conflict in the fucking streets, motherfuckers with shotguns and fucking fucking ARs, just get it done and just wipe these motherfuckers out. I think that would be much better on a personal citizen basis than it would be to use the fucking police. That way at least they get put down by the citizenry instead of using the fucking government. But
right, but people will only do
that is what I would prefer.
I think everyone would. It's just that human nature dictates that people will only do what they like, the bare minimum. And if the bare minimum for you surviving this sort of conflict is just don't go out, yeah, it kind of sucks, but just don't go out. By the time it like you reach the point where you have to resort to violence, like if you were somebody who lived in the Chaz in Portland, it's too late. What are you going to do? Grab a rifle and fight everyone who had rifles out there? I know that there were like some attempt to try and like infiltrate that area, but fortunately it collapsed in on itself before it became too much of a problem.
And this is all right, how do I put this, man? All right, see, here's the thing. Like, all right, see, when you talk about cities, right, I have an issue because like I'm from the East Coast. So like the cities on the East Coast are a whole different animal than a place like fucking Portland or fucking, a nice area of Chicago. Like if you go to a city on the East Coast, it's dirty, it's grimy, it's fucking boarded up windows and mattresses and buildings falling down and crackheads. And it's all kind of the situation. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing's it's a different animal out here than it is out there. Like the people here will fight. I mean, they don't give a shit. Like they don't really care. They will go to war. So they're not soft. You understand what I'm saying? But on the same point, people in the suburbs are, and that's the issue.
Right. I think we're talking about two different things here, though.
Yeah, because... and I'll say hands down, the people you're seeing in like the cities in most of these protests are soft ass motherfuckers. They really are. The moment anything happens against them, they start screaming, "Help! Help! I'm being oppressed."
I think we're talking about two different things here, because we're talking about one, how like the fighting competence of somebody based on their geographic location, and in tandem with how many people are in direct proximity to them, and the overall I don't want to say the spinelessness, but the how thin the skin is of so many people now. Why so many people jump on these ridiculous campaigns to censor and doctor history and do all these ridiculous social justice things for the sake of a fence. And I do think that is directly proportionate to cities.
No, see, that's a power move. They're not offended at all. They don't give a fuck about any of it. It's all about power.
I don't know, man. I think it has a lot to do with colleges, though. I'll be honest with you. I think that it has to do with the educational system.
Why do you think colleges teach that shit, dude?
Well, colleges teach that shit because of the Frankfurt School.
It's very easy. It's very easy to wield power if you can get your opponent to immediately submit through guilt. That's all that's about, man.
We're reaching this point where it's like a 50-50 split in the country. And I don't think that 50% of the country is on board with this psychopathic social justice shit. I think that the majority of the social justice shit is just well-meaning people who are extremely ill-informed, who just see the front lines that are fed to them by the mainstream media and the BuzzFeeds and the Mikes and the Voxes and all those stuff.
The majority of the people that are really into it are just no good at capitalism, and so they're trying to destroy it. That's really what it boils down to. So there's sort of ironically enough, to this whole anarchy uprising, there is a hierarchy to it. At the top, you have the academics and you have the activists, the professional activists, the people who, if America just says, I don't really care about your social justice anymore, they all lose money. They all lose their jobs. There's no way for them to, because they've made a career off of essentially empathy. You know, the Brianna Woos out there. This is sort of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. If you want a really interesting deep dive into just how fucking scummy these people can be, look up Kiwi Farms Archive. It's Josh Moon's YouTube channel. It's the owner of Kiwi Farms, and look up the trans lifeline video. Brianna Wu, in tandem with a few other really disgusting human beings, created a nonprofit that was supposed to create a suicide hotline just for trans kids. And they essentially just turned it into a money laundering scheme to build themselves their own little anarchist getaway and to fly around the world and go to Venice and Jamaica and just party and drink. And it's just disgusting. But that is what these people have to lose. They've elevated their standard of living because of social justice to be like Z-list celebrities with that kind of money, so that they can fly to Milan, that they can fly to Greece, they can go on vacation wherever they want. They're rubbing shoulders with politicians because they have some level of influence. And so when you go up to these people and you say social justice is horseshit and there's only two genders, they're like, the only thing they see is all of their money going away. And they know it's bullshit. They 100% know it's bullshit, but they don't care.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Like this is why I go into economics so much, right? Because I was watching this video the other day. There was this black movie maker guy. Like he's a younger filmmaker, whatever. I'm just breaking into the business, and he seemed like he was just a normal person, right? And he was watching American History X.
Right.
And I went into the comment section and I said, all this is really just about economics. This is about, individuals who are all trying to vie for the same jobs and the same fucking money in the same fucking neighborhoods and things of this nature, that the supplies are dwindling as far as jobs and, fucking industrial environments to be able to work is, right? Mm-hmm. And when they stand here and you end up bringing in fucking Mexicans and you bring in blacks and you have all these people who are losing their jobs because of the deindustrialization, you're going to have these fucking conflicts between whites and blacks and Mexicans and all these type of things. And it's not racism. It has little to do with culture or race. It has very, very little to do. It's just about the fact that there's just not enough fucking bottom end fucking income for people to go around, and so everybody feels like they're being fucking discriminated against. The black people, the Mexicans, and the whites, they all feel discriminated against in that fucking environment because of the fact that they're all vying over fucking a dwindling supply of fucking basic economic resources.
It is very orchestrated. Have you seen the seminars by Yuri Bezmenov?
I have. But I'll be honest with you, I really don't think I don't think that really applies.
Really?
Right?
Okay.
I don't like, because like I have a buddy of mine, the guy who used to help me like run my channel Excel, right? And fucking like he's doing all these social justice streams and shit, where like he's breaking down like, you know what I mean, the academics of all the nonsense. But the truth is, it's really, it's just really about the fact that these kids and this generation in particular know that they're gonna live worse than their parents are. Right, regardless of the fact that we all have iPhones, like there's people living in mud huts and in fucking the middle of fucking bumfuck Egypt, you know what I mean, in goddamn fucking Cambodia, walking around barefoot, who have no shoes but they have cell phones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't really change the fucking standard of living, you know what I mean? Like having all these toys don't change the standard of living as far as you being able to provide a house and a shelter for your wife and children.
I would disagree with that. I would disagree with that a lot. I don't think that that's what it is at all. I think that a lot of it does have to do with sort of what we go back to earlier with the whole the softening of this American generation due to a lot of the leisure that we have now, which really limits our imagination as far as like what we can accomplish as people. And because so much of our lives are streamlined and because pain has been removed so much from our day-to-day activities, we find the prospect of going into a career field that is alien to us, that will pay more money, daunting. And anything that's daunting seems impossible to a lot of these kids, because it's like, well, no, from age 5 to 18, my life was planned for me. God damn it, I don't want to have to start thinking now. What do you mean? And to their credit, they're not completely wrong. When you raise an entire generation, or not an entire generation, an entire century's worth of people, because our public school system was designed by Gerald Ford to make better factory workers, which worked exceptionally well. We boomed as an economy. Well, now we don't need factories anymore because we have robots, and all we have left are the factory schools. And factory schools do not create the type of people that thrive in this new environment. We need an entire education system that is very technologically focused. We need to teach kids how to think outside of the box, not what to think or when to think, or when they can speak. But we don't do that, because once you give something over to the federal government, they're going to run it like a factory because they don't know how else to do it. When you're dealing with millions of people, you have to follow certain hard guidelines that do not work across the board, but it's the best you got. When before it was very much a localized education system.
Well, all right.
So,
well, here's the problem, right? Here's the problem with that mentality, right? And I completely agree with you. Like having children in school from 5 to 22 is probably fucking the dumbest thing we can do. And I bitch about this shit all the time. I think school should end at like probably 6th grade, and you should be training for a fucking actual, you know what I mean, job at that point. You know what I mean? Like a real career at that level. You know, you should be tested to find out what you're good here. You know what I mean? And then fucking move forward. Our education system is completely broken. But with that being said, you have the issue of where in 1996 a house cost $150,000, right? And today a house costs $330,000, right? And the fucking take-home income in 1996 was fucking $28,000 a year, and today it's $38,000 a year.
Well, I mean, you're talking about numbers based on possibly where you live. Where I live,
no. I'm talking average. Like this is the average across the nation.
Well, I mean, I live in a $200,000 home, but the average house cost here is about, I don't know, about $85,000.
Yeah, but again, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking, we're talking average across the country for a place that has plenty of jobs that you can survive. And here's the other half: all those jobs that Obama added during the past, I don't know, fucking decade or so, even during Trump, the vast majority of these jobs weren't good. You know what I mean? Fucking family sustaining wages, fucking jobs. They were fucking shit jobs like Uber. And I mean, like these jobs are not good for people as far as providing a decent income for you to be able to survive with the family. That's the fucking problem. It used to be back in the day, you could, you know, you get out of high school, you go to fucking work, you know what I mean, you fucking earn a fucking income and you fucking, you know, pay for your house and your car and your kids and you're fucking good to go. Today, you know what I mean, you have to have like a 2-family fucking income, or, you know what I mean, find some way to be able to live with, you know what I mean, very little amounts of fucking bills. So
Well,
it's
see,
really
in America, though, in America, though, we used to be a manufacturing economy, and now we're a service economy overall.
Yes.
And until we actually build up a manufacturing base, which is something that Trump is trying to do, we are going to have a bunch of shit jobs like that. You've got to have skilled labor. You can't have this over reliance on academics, because in order to make money, you've got to make something other than burgers.
Value.
Well, what you have to do is control immigration, right? Like, you either control fucking labor, you know what I'm saying, or you control production. It's one of the goddamn two. Like, you can't have fucking more and more labor pouring into fucking a place that fucking doesn't goddamn have the jobs to support it.
That is true. And it's one of those things where it's like you can't really put genie back in the fucking bottle once you've done that. Because the economy is a living, breathing thing, and it's going to adjust for the population. It's going to adjust for the amount of workers. And so once it's adjusted for the amount of workers that you have, if you, I don't know, magically ethno-state a whole bunch of people off the country, the economy is going to really, it's going to be a nasty whiplash. But
well, I think immigration does need to be reformed, and we need to go over to more of a demand-based immigration status. So one of the biggest problems in America is we have this over-reliance on colleges. We have told our children, well, I haven't, but many people have told their children they have to have college in order to be successful. That's not true. You need to have a skill. You don't necessarily have to have college.
Well, that's only part. I mean, like, look, when you continue to bring in, like, here's a problem with that fucking demand-based bullshit, right? Like, they just demanded that they bring in more truck drivers, right? While they're laying guys the fuck off. And the reason is because they want to get wages down. It has nothing to do with the fact that they can't find truck drivers. They just won't do it for fucking what the hell they want to pay.
You've got to get labor. You've got to get labor unions out of politics.
No, it's not labor unions. The fucking piece of shit fucking companies keep lobbying fucking Congress to fucking bring in more fucking people to take away American fucking jobs. And you can't fucking do this.
I will say this as somebody who's part of the trucking industry. We do see a lot, and I mean a lot, of Africans and Hindu
Russian
people. There are a few Russians. I have worked with Russians as well, but yes, I've worked with a lot of Africans, like straight out of Uganda, straight out of Congo. Nigeria. Yeah.
Sierra
the truck driver who was dragged out of his fucking car in that one video, who didn't run over anybody on the overpass, but was still dragged out and beaten. He was an immigrant. The guy who hit those protesters on that highway was also an immigrant, who was also like in transportation, I believe. Oh no, wait, no, he was doing gig economy. But anyway, the point is that there is a lot of that going on. There is a lot of importing of people to. Well,
what I'm talking about though is, I'm talking about, trucking. Look, logistics. That's a good trade. It really is. I don't think you should allow any immigrants for that, because it is easy to train. I'm talking about higher level stuff. I'm an avionics technician on aircraft. Okay. If we had a shortage of those and no one was going to school here in America for some odd reason, I would say, hey, maybe we should allow, some people from out of the country. But I think, honestly, we need to shut our borders down and not allow any immigration for at least 5 years, stabilize, and see how we reboot.
Well, that's always been my fucking ideology. I've said this 4 or 5 years now.
I support any plan that leads to less fucking brown people coming here. Like that.
The big question, though, unfortunately, that we have to deal with before we can deal with any of this is, what are we going to do with these communists, and how do we handle the situation without violating the Constitution?
Trebuchet.
Well, God damn it, dude! Helicopters aren't that expensive.
Trebuchets are cheaper.
Here's what you do with communists. You fucking bring back labor unions. Right, labor unions are fucking fine, and they work really well to pull people away from fucking communism, right? And the problem is the only labor unions we have are in goddamn fucking government at this point. There's something like 2% of the entire economy, private wise, actually works for a fucking union. Like everybody else, you know what I'm saying, is just, you know what I mean, working for themselves. If you had labor unions out here fighting for individuals, you know what I mean, make better wages and legit keep down fucking immigration, because that's really the big fucking problem. You could deal with all this bullshit and fucking people would have hope and have the American dream. The issue is that you don't have the American dream because people are just basically being taken advantage of by these fucking companies.
I wouldn't agree with that. Not that there's anything wrong with what you said, but I don't think that that is the direct result of there not being enough labor unions. I think that communism is a direct result of the internet. The internet has made it very easy to repackage and resell very, very dangerous ideas to the public, like Marxism, under a very new and pretty mask that's very marketable and very, you know, very empathy oriented. You know, the majority of the kids that you see out there marching with the BLM riots or even like just on social media talking about overthrowing the government, they're not dock workers, they're not plumbers, they're not truckers. These are just kids. These are kids who are from the suburbs. They're from blue cities. They're
upper
state.
Middle class,
correct,
kids that have never worked a day in their life normally.
They smoke weed, they go to orgies, and then they post about how Trump is literally Hitler. And because of the internet, these people were generally in the past considered just degenerates who couldn't influence anybody outside of the circle of their toxic friends, who they would, you know, just screech at, and nothing would get accomplished.
Communism since 1950. I don't think the internet could or would be or could or is responsible for the spread of communism. But I do think that the Twitter echo chamber and the political climate on the internet is why the communists played their hand so early.
Well,
yeah,
the reason had they waited another 15 years, they could have just won, but now they have to be destroyed.
What's the beauty of natural law is people who align themselves with chaotic energies will always fall into chaos. Communism necessitates chaos. There's no one who's going to live in a capitalist country who's like, wow, everything's working and some things suck, but things are great. Okay. And go, you know what we need to do? Make everything public domain. And it's like, no, but communists, that's why communists need chaos. That's why they need the fire, the destruction, and the backstabbing, and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, I often get into I get back to the economics thing, right? So there's 1.8 million people who work for the largest employer in the United States, which is Walmart. But the second largest employer in the United States is government, which has 23 million people working for it.
Oof.
I'm one of them.
Right? I mean, and this is a fucking problem, right? This is a goddamn issue when it really comes down to it. Like, this is where everything really rides down. Like, Americans don't understand that they've already become a socialist fucking country. Right, you have higher taxes than any country in fucking Europe when you start adding in the rest of the fucking shit. Right, when you start adding in the local, the state, your fucking sales tax, your federal tax, your county tax, your property tax, your school tax, all these fucking taxes that just keep getting fucking pounded into you. In Pennsylvania, I have an occupational tax. I have to pay a tax to work in my state.
Yeah.
It's $52 a year to have the right to work, the privilege to go to work.
Yeah, it's all of those things. They're just little tumors, and once they start growing, you can't cut them out. Like, it's very, very difficult because the state's never going to vote itself less money or less power. You'll have Republicans that will try to dial that back, but even then, like, how many Republicans are actually interested in downsizing the government, and how many of them are rhinos?
I won't even say the Republicans will do it, because Republicans don't do it. You'll have one or two who will bang the drums and not do a damn thing about it. It's all smoke and mirrors, dude. It's breads and circuses. That's all it is.
Right, your car registration, your tax on your fucking cigarettes, a tax on your gasoline. Like, they have $1.35 tax on every gallon of gasoline in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
It's the second highest in the fucking nation. Legit, you get taxed to death in this fucking country. Legit, you really do. And I understand that, we have to fucking sit here and pay for roads and bridges and tunnels, and I get that mentality. I'm fully behind paying for the infrastructure in this country. But there has got to be a better way of doing things than what we're doing them right now, because it's legit. It's bankrupting our fucking nation. It really is.
Well, unfortunately, that's sort of taken a back seat to the civil unrest, and I don't like. I wish I could see
the fucking cause.
Hmm?
It's the cause of the fucking civil unrest. When it, like, yo, look, like, I figured it out already. Like, yo, this is really simple. Yo, the reason why black dudes get shot by the police and the reason why white dudes get shot by the police is the same reason. Every one of these guys had a fucking child support case.
Oh yeah, well that's feminism for you. They got rid of the father, and that's done.
I mean, like, yo, how about this? I got a fucking revolutionary fucking idea, right? If you as a family, right, like you have a wife and a husband and the kids, and your husband was working at a mill or a factory, and the factory closes down, right? Maybe what you should do, instead of giving money to the person who wasn't working, you should give money to the person who was.
Yeah, but you're talking about factory shutting down. That hasn't been like part of the public discourse in a long time.
But it's been happening constantly.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you. But as far as like, so what we're talking about, like this entire conversation, everything we're talking about is well outside of what I call the cognitive moat. What we're talking about, so the cognitive moat is a border between public consciousness and like fringe discussions, right? So public consciousness will engulf like who won the sports ball game, is racism bad or good, who's running for president, and then once you leave the cognitive moat, that's where you can go and find like really fringe ideas that only a few people talk about, and obviously few is thousands, but thousands in context of millions. If you bring conversations like this to the average Joe, they're just going to go, okay, yeah, okay. But they're not going to do anything about it. They don't actually give a shit.
Wait,
my problem with these situations is the hypocrisy. If a woman cannot afford to care for her children, they put her up in Section 8 housing, give her food stamps and welfare. If a man can't, they throw him in fucking prison.
Well, hang on. I got to correct Jonathan Doe in the chat. He said welfare makes up over 60% of federal spending. If we want to cut taxes, just eliminate welfare. No, you're wrong. Okay, you are completely wrong about that. Because I have the list of all the things that we spent on federally. All right. Number 1 is Medicare. Number 2 is Social Security. Number 3 is education. Number 4 is defense, and then number 5 is welfare.
Yeah.
Isn't Medicare technically welfare?
I mean, like, yo, we can have that conversation, right? But I mean, like, you just talking about welfare, because we're talking about welfare, we're talking about food stamps in Section 8 and like shit they give to broads. That's what everybody thinks of when you talk about welfare, right? I mean, I think Social Security is fucking welfare, me personally. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Because like, it's all nonsense, because like legit the vast majority of it is money that we don't fucking have. And by the way, those numbers are 1.5 trillion, 1.4 trillion, 1.1 trillion, 1 trillion, and then motherfucking I think welfare is like fucking 400 billion or something like that. Yo, Jonathan Doe, I completely agree with you. I told you I completely agree with where you are, right? But like legit, when we're having this conversation, we talk about welfare, you have to break it up into fucking its different parts, because Social Security's and Medicare is so goddamn big. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fucking address them separately.
I don't even consider Social Security welfare because of the investment by the individual into it.
There isn't.
It's definitely welfare.
Yo, it's welfare, dude. Legit. It's not, you don't pay for shit. All right. The amount of money that boomers actually paid into fucking welfare, they paid in like $20 a fucking week, and they're getting back like fucking $1,100 a fucking month. It's not real.
But for our generation, that's flipping though, Tom. That's I mean, that's really the difference. The way I look at it, I think Social Security should have been nixed years ago. Money returned to the individual, allowing them to reinvest that money any way they chose. And if they pissed it away, so be it.
Most people collect more than they actually paid in to see Gypsy. And Zach Osborne, what up, man? Fucking welcome, my brother. Welcome. Is welfare, is taxes, are the welfare. It's just specific. Yeah, I feel you. And I mean, like, fucking, it's all kind of whatever. You know, I mean, everything, you can call everything fucking welfare other than the military and fucking infrastructure spending.
Well, what about my VA benefits? Is that welfare?
Again, I said military spending. Like, we made a promise to you to pay your fucking benefits or your fucking because of your service.
Yeah.
The military does have an objective positive effect on the U.S. economy because we can use the military to leverage better trade deals with other countries. So I wouldn't perceive that as welfare.
Again, I fucking hate that mentality too, because I think that's welfare for the goddamn companies, right? Legit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, motherfuckers should be paying what the fuck it is you fucking cost in goddamn fucking security for trade. Legit.
Oh, dude. I've been calling for returning all the troops back home completely, including the United States Navy. They should be there for defense of the country, not defense of trade.
Yeah, Zach, he's a veteran too. Fucking yeah, like that's a contractual obligation.
It is, but some people have actually told me that since I am disabled and receive a check, which is a contractual obligation, you're exactly right. I've been told that is welfare, and I'm like, why? Because you didn't serve and get that money.
I did a video on this. Somebody tried to make a point that fucking the military is welfare for fucking men, right?
Well, that's as retarded as saying that like it's welfare that a company is paying for my mortgage and my bills for the next 50 years because of their negligence. My back was broken or something like that. Like you got to pay what you owe. Like if you join the military and you get fucked up, the military is responsible for that. You are their property. They better fucking take care of their property or nobody's going to join the military.
Joshua Demers, I've always said, and I will continue to always say, I think we should reopen the goddamn asylums. And I mean, I don't understand why it is we don't take care of crazy people, because it's a fucking it's a defect. And I mean, like it shouldn't. Like the community should help, like fucking individuals who are actually.
You know how hard it is to like guarantee adequate care for like the mentally insane.
Yeah,
there's not one care facility for like insane people that doesn't have like severe issues with negligence and abuse.
Well, see, what's sad is we normalize insanity these days. We allow people to tell people their delusions are their reality. Oh, Johnny, you feel like a woman today? Oh, well, you're studied and brave. When it should be someone, nah, dude, you're a dude. Fucking get over it.
Well, let me say this, right? I actually know like some people who have some real mental disabilities, like schizophrenics and things of this nature, right? And they end up homeless on the street because they have nowhere to fucking go, and they can't afford their medication, and they can't hold down a job, and they can't function in society. There should be a place for them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky situation because when you're designing a society, you're designing a society for people, for human beings, and human beings just sort of go without saying, well, these are functional two-legged creatures that can talk and think and work. And then you're like, well, what do we do with all the broken ones? You're like, ooh, fuck, I didn't factor for broken people. What do you do with them? That's always been the question, and there's never an easy answer for that.
I mean, like when these people try, when these people try to commit suicide, like Joshua Demers brought it up. I mean, Baker acting in 72-hour lockups. All they do is they put them in a fucking like a hospital for 72 fucking hours and send them home with some fucking medications and shit. And I mean, there'll be enough medications for a few days. And basically it's the whole stabilize them and send them on their fucking way bullshit. And I mean, they really don't have the fucking option to fucking be okay. I mean, there's some people who are actually broken. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we don't want to kill them, Zach. That's not how this works. All right, we don't want to kill them. So what we should do is we should have like insane asylums where like you can keep a whole bunch of these people, and like we should have like good care. You know what I mean? Because like it could happen to you or your children or your fucking aunts or uncles or whoever it is. Everybody in here has somebody they know who is fucked up. You know what I mean? And they need fucking help and they're not getting it.
Zach, where do we delineate the line between someone who's just a little bit weird and someone who should be held against their will? I mean, what like the fact that it's illegal to do things to people against their will is one of the problems with insane asylums. Most of them don't want to be there.
You look at people like Chris Chan. Like that is very clearly a mentally ill person who is going to burn his life at both ends as soon as his mother dies, because she's the only one she's still just taking care of him, and she can barely keep it together. So now we're talking about people who are like even like socially retarded, who can't even hold down a job. And it's like, well, what do you do with them? Are they if they're not a threat to themselves or others, but they just can't function?
then where does that factor in?
Yeah, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, there should be a place for people. Like, we need ways to take care of fucking individuals who are fucking broken. Legit. And if you can rehab them, by all means. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, like, okay, I've met quite a bit of people recently that are just broken. I've been working with this young man. He's been doing a protest. Now tomorrow will be 3 full weeks. He's been sleeping on the stairs of the Capitol, and there's people that end up showing up around him. It seems like the local jails or whatever are letting them out over here by the Capitol, and they wander up, and you talk to them, and you're like, "Wow, these cats are really messed up."
Yeah, they're broken,
and there's no services out there to help them, except for maybe a couple of halfway houses, but they don't get them the help they actually need. Counseling, medication, maybe some form of rehabilitation program to teach them some type of skill. I mean, hell, dude, we have more facilities teach someone with Downs how to sew pillows and shit than we do helping people with mental issues that, honestly, the majority of mental disorders and stuff, they may not be able to be cured, but they can be managed.
Not really. I mean, like, especially like if you're talking about a human being who has to manage it on their own and they're already fucked. You know what I mean? Like, they have one bad day at work and they lose their fucking job and they can no longer afford to pay for their fucking medication anymore.
Right. Jordan's sister has Asperger's, and she doesn't she's just like very autistic. She can work a job, but she just can't like handle like anytime something goes anytime something doesn't go according to plan. Like if like a raccoon like broke the window and crawled into the house, she would just
loses it, right?
Like she just has to call someone else to deal with it. So that like as a family, we're gonna have to find a way to care for her pretty much until she dies. But she doesn't really make messes, and she has her own money. So
yeah, but normally like people with Asperger's, they usually have like one exceptional talent that if you can find a way to monetize that.
That's extremely like the super Asperger's. Those are really rare people.
Well, there's certain things that they can focus on.
Jordan says actually monetize she doesn't have any talents.
Well, it's not just talents. I taught a young child.
Everyone can suck a cock, except for the ones who blow their head off with a shotgun.
Yeah, I taught a.
No, I am not going to give my dick to my wife's like half retarded sister.
You find somebody who will take care of her.
I will fuck this retarded girl for charity.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I'm a good man.
Like, yeah, like that dude can take care of her and marry her, and he can have a half crazy, ridiculous bitch in his house. You know what I mean? Like, and fucking, she could be super focused on cooking and cleaning and talking to the demons while she does so. You know what I mean?
I mean, has she considered making an OnlyFans? Because she'll definitely find a husband that way.
Asexual. Like, there is nothing consensual that is ever going to happen sexually with this woman. She's like terrified of dicks.
Well, they are quite scary.
She's terrified of vaginas because she could find like a butch lesbian with some Wolverine boots.
You do not want to put a retarded girl in the care of a lesbian. She will punch it to death immediately.
Oh yeah.
What about
lesbians are terrifying people?
Oh.
Well, she's terrified of penises, and I mean, we don't want to give it to a lesbian. I feel like we're running out of options here.
Well, I guess it's just the lizard people now.
I mean, to be completely honest, she's not that bad. She'll probably just have to like stay with someone.
She'll be that girl who works at the fucking grocery store forever that you always see. You're like, oh god.
That's exactly what she'll be, and she'll just stay at our place or her brother's place or her dad's place or whoever lives the longest and play video games until she dies. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I'm saying like legit, like maybe what she should do is become a nun. You know what I mean? And they'll put her in a nunnery, you know what I mean, among other penguins and shit, and like fucking she could live a life, you know what I mean? Being good with fucking food.
I mean, you joke, but that actually used to be a fucking option. You could just give the retarded people back to God without killing them.
Honestly, her sister's a little bit too smart to be like deluded into that.
She's too smart for God, but she's too retarded for life. Oh God, Christian's blown the fuck out.
Like I don't know if me or C Gypsy
Oh,
first, but like I was thinking, yeah, that's where I was at. Like you can't fuck nothing, then you might as well like just become a goddamn nun. You terrified of dicks and shit. I feel like maybe like you should go to like on like one of them fucking talk shows like Maury or some shit and conquer your fear of penises. You know, like fucking just have her introduced to penises. She could pet one or something. You know what I mean? Bring it out one and like Jack Hanna dudes.
on a leash. just pet the
Lord.
penis. No, it's fine. It doesn't have teeth. Just touch it.
You can start off with like a dildo. You know what I'm saying? Like a stuffed.
Just put like it's got to be like a little My Little Pony dildo, so she thinks it's friendship is magic. Kiss the friendship.
have like one of them fucking hat, like a fucking giant fucking foam dick on it or something, you know?
Okay, let's take a fun left turn. Why the fuck does My Little Pony attract the ocean of spurgs that it does? Someone explain this to me. I need help.
Same reason Golden Girls do.
Wait, Golden Girls attracts autists?
Yeah.
Actually,
I didn't know that.
Oh man, you won't believe how many times I've had conversations about females devolve into conversations about fucking what the fuck those broads' names and shit, fucking B Young or whatever, B Brown or
B. Arthur?
D. Arthur.
B Arthur and fucking
Really?
yeah.
I had no idea the Golden Girls was a fucking lightning rod for autism.
It's also a lightning rod for the gays.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a given. Gays love anything that's sassy and female. They wish they were that fucking powerful. And
It's the
drag
same-
shows.
it's the same reason why, like, you know, what I mean, fucking a lot of these weirdo fucking dudes really like anime bitches.
Okay, so
Hey, man,
as far as
crush
like,
anime
I
bitches.
really do believe in the like the snowball principle about a lot of this.
So you like to blow a load in chick's mouth and have her blow it back in the ears?
Let's think about. I believe bronies probably started a lot similar to the way that furries started. It wasn't like a cultural movement. Someone started doing it. Another person started, and it just sort of like organically multiplied like bacteria. Other people are like, "Hey, I'm fucking weird, and these faggots are weird, and I'd really like to wear like a mascot uniform with the crotch."
Actually, the furry community originally did start out as a fetish. It came from the funny cartoon subgenre, funny animals subgenre. Yeah, and it was a bunch of artists who came from the same sort of field as what's his name? The guy who did Fitz the Cat.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
So there was an entire like a resurgence of animation after World War II of people who were drawing cartoon animals, but cartoons featuring animals were always extremely wholesome, nauseatingly so. And so a whole bunch of artists who did that kind of shit on the side started doing adult-oriented animal stuff. So it was just animals smoking cigarettes, murdering, having gangbangs, just doing the most non-cartoon, non-wholesome thing ever. And that created the funny animals genre. And then that created a community of people who liked drawing and reading these things. And they started their own like newsletter and their own magazines that you could subscribe to. And that created the furry community, people who loved the concept of animals being these degenerate.
The pornographic scenes in the Sonichu comics, because those are pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's always good for a late night.
Wait a minute. All right,
yes.
I gotta like throw some shit in here real quick. This shit makes me go fucking retarded. All right,
fair enough.
So there's a kid I know, right? Not
Kid
one
you
of
know.
mine. Legitimately, he wants to be a fox. He got like fox slippers and like a fox hat for fucking Christmas from like fucking aunt, you know, it's like, oh, he likes foxes, you know. And then he looked at his mom and he goes, "Hey mom, look, now I'm a kind."
Oh no.
At like 8 or 9 years old.
I'm a kind?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He's a fox kind.
Oh, you mean a kin?
Yeah.
Oh, he says, oh, he must have, oh, fuck. He got on the tumblers. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Jordan just said like 30 seconds ago, she's like, Tumblr is responsible for fucking furries and bronies and all these like monstrous faggots.
Well, Tumblr's not responsible for furries. Bronies have always, well, this is the thing that like this is why I brought it up, because
Tumblr, Imgur, Twitter.
like I said, the funny animals genre has been around since the 60s, so that's not entirely accurate. But I do, again, like, where the fuck does the autistic obsession with My Little Pony come in? I have my own theories on it, but
I got all right. Here's my theory. Right, I think that the inevitable end fucking conclusion to the mentality of I don't want to be forced to maintain a, how do I put this, fucking a way of life or a way of thinking, or I don't want to be forced to like fit in the box of society of what they expect of me. The end result is fucking My Little Pony's bronies, right?
So I just heard a theory about someone just told me about they heard about like it might be a possible origin story for bronies. They thought it might have been one of those like 4chan psyops where they like how they got a bunch of girls to shave their heads for Justin Bieber.
No, bronies was a thing long before 4chan, dude.
No. 4chan did start.
Bronies aren't that old.
Yeah,
I
4chan
think
started bronies. Seriously.
I have a theory, and I'll float it by you guys and let me know what you think. So much the same way that like Dungeons and Dragons back in like the 80s and the 70s and even to a degree the 90s was a big magnet for socially awkward, kind of retarded dudes. Because it was very much about escapism. And when you kind of suck at everything, life isn't fun to live, so you run away from it. So you play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, whatever, and that's where that sort of like gamers are gross, sweaty nerds, neckbeard kind of stereotype came from. I think that the My Little Pony thing, because autists are really, really, really bad at social interactions, and for that reason, they very rarely have real friends. You know, they might have one or two weird friends on the side, but when you can't hack social interactions, it becomes very stressful for a human being to engage in a kind of behavior that they suck at, right? So my theory is that My Little Pony, one, it's extremely vibrant.
Does anyone know what the year the My Little Pony reboot happened? Because they were apparently some people think they were like much more sexualized when the reboot happened. That might have
all right. Here, I got it right here, right? How did brony fandom start? It started as an internet meme on 4chan, grown men watching My Little Pony. Then people tuned in, and the show was actually quite good. And fucking that's how. And this was in 2013.
Okay,
this still doesn't dissuade my theory though, because I've watched My Little Pony, and I don't think it's quite good.
4chan.
What's that?
I'm telling you, it can't be 4chan because there were bronies in the military when I was in. And I separated in 08.
Yeah, that is early 4chan.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
4chan didn't even exist then. There was people wearing My Little Pony morale patches and shit.
Oh, no.
2010.
Well, that. Oh, okay. Yeah, Frost. The reason you don't like My Little Pony is because you're not like
You're not a faggot.
Who jerks off to child porn, so that's why you
guess. I mean, I guess I'm just bad at the pedophilia. I watched Cuties, and the entire time I was just trying to eat my lips because I was cringing so hard. So I guess I just don't have what it takes.
I don't know why you biting your lips looking at fucking goddamn fucking Cuties and fucking weirdo.
Because everyone was talking about it, but they were all saying, well, I haven't watched the movie, but I was like, hold on, I got this. It's on the internet. Let me just see. And so I watched it, and I was like, that was stupid. Nothing about that was good.
I refuse to watch it. There's a guy at work. There's a guy at work that I know that is actually trying to defend it, and of course, he's also the same guy that does sex tourism. You know, he flies out to Vietnam to screw chicks.
Ooh, red flags.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we call him Uncle Creepy.
If you want Pinoid, we can turn this into a Cuties review stream. I can give you guys the rundown of what the fuck happened.
I'm cool. Seriously, I'm fucking cool. Like legit, I'm fucking good. And like yo, Sparky, I'm fucking embarrassed that you didn't hit that nigga in the head with a wrench.
Oh,
right, legit.
I told him to stay the fuck away from me.
God, I'd hit him with a wrench. Like this, there's some things worth losing your job over. Like, it is what it is.
Oh, fuck. It was so. It was just the thing about the movie that was most offensive to me.
It's good, man. It was the 11-year-old girl's twerking. I got it, man.
No, it wasn't even that. It's the movie is cowardly. It doesn't actually take a moral stance on anything that happens in the movie. It doesn't condemn anything, and it doesn't support anything. It's just like, these are things that are just kind of exist.
They just kind of happen.
They just kind of happen. And the dumbest thing ever, though, is that the crux of the movie, the climax of the movie is literally a deus ex machina. Like, because the writers wrote themselves into a corner where, like, this twerking shit is empowering. This girl is escaping her Muslim whatever. And then, but now they've wrote themselves into a corner where children are literally twerking as a power statement. And so they're like, fuck. Oh, I know. We'll make her have a completely contextless panic attack at the big competition on stage, where she runs home to her Muslim family who are having a Muslim wedding for the second wife, and that will be the end of the movie. I'm like, excuse me, what was the point?
Job.
No, she doesn't even put that on.
That's a 60-year-old guy.
Well, that's the dumbest thing ever. Is like, she picks so the whole movie sets up this dichotomy. There is some substance there. I'm not gonna be it's awful just because, like, I'm gonna try and be objective with it. They were trying to, like, sell a fork in the road, and one fork, she sees her Muslim family and everything that they're going through, and she hates it because her mother's having a mental breakdowns because her father just married a second wife and she doesn't want that future for herself. But then the other fork is her doing this gross twerking shit. But the movie never, like, takes a hard stance against the gross twerking shit. It's just like, isn't this weird, audience? I'm like, yes. Why did you make this? And that's all that, like, that goes. And so she has this mental breakdown, this panic attack for no reason. No reason whatsoever. They don't build this up. She doesn't have anxiety in the movie. None of it. She just has this mental breakdown to get her off the stage. She runs back to her family, but she doesn't choose to put on the traditional Muslim garb for the celebration. She just puts on street clothes, and then she goes outside and plays hopscotch with some local kids, and then the movie ends. And I'm like, not hopscotch, excuse me, double dutch. Not double dutch. She jump rope. She plays jump rope with the kids, and then the movie ends. And I'm like, that was the pussiest ending I've ever seen.
They should have at least had her run back to the Muslim family and her immediately get married off to a 60-year-old guy. So that would match at least their pedophile prophet, and then the theme would be complete.
The thing that was so dumb and annoying to me about the movie is that, like I said, it's cowardly. It doesn't actually take a moral stance. And I would be okay with the movie existing if it was like, look at the bad things that kids are getting into now. Now here's the consequence. But at no point in time are these girls approached by predators. At no point in time are these girls attacked or exploited none of it is the worst thing that happens. And I do mean the worst, like, negative consequence that happens to this girl is that after, and I don't know what website this would be, but after she uploads a photo of her pussy to, I guess, an alternate version of Instagram that exists that allows that shit, a guy slaps her on the ass in her class and calls her a slut. That is the only consequence she faces in the entire movie. She steals money from her mother to buy lingerie. Nothing bad happens to her except her mother threatens to hit her. She neglects her little brother, who destroys the house with a fucking bathtub flood. Nothing bad happens. She is the fucking Ray of this movie. She never faces consequences for any of the dumb shit she does. And then the movie literally just deus ex machinas her out of a horrible life journey that she was headed down, where she would definitely wind up on one of Epstein's islands. But instead of that, they just go, she jumps rope, the end. Fucking garbage.
And they live.
What up, yo? What up, Victor? What up, Ryan? How the fuck y'all doing, man? Nice to see y'all the fuck out here.
Hey, before y'all get really spooled up, man.
Watch French propaganda, dude. Like, this was a state-sponsored fucking film.
Yeah, I can't.
Yo, your shit's real low, dude.
Yeah, real low. I'm trying to make out what you're saying. I heard French propaganda.
Frost, how old was the chick who took a picture of her pussy and posted?
11.
11 years old.
Yeah.
If I was her father, I would staple that shit shut.
Well, here's the thing. Her father is in Senegal picking up a younger, hotter wife during this whole thing. So that's like
the right idea, don't he?
he certainly does. But yeah, like no consequences. None of the girls who engage in this horrible shit in this film are ever like they never face any natural consequences for what they do. And it's like what the movie is so cowardly. Like I can understand putting shocking imagery in front of some like a movie like Hostel, right? Nobody likes the idea of getting like cutting somebody's Achilles tendon or ripping their teeth out or whatever, except for a few weirdos, but we don't talk about them. But the reason for that is the shock value. It's to show you that this horrible place is a bad place, and that adds tension to the characters needing to get out. In the same vein, I could understand putting children in that situation to show you, look at what the fuck the internet's doing to your kids, wake the fuck up. But they don't have the moral convictions to condemn it. No, there's no consequences ever. It's so fucking dumb. It's just a bad, like, leave the fucking pedo shit out of it. It's a bad fucking movie. It's dumb as shit.
All right. On that, I've got to get out of here, man. I need to go to sleep. I got an early morning. Tom, thanks for allowing me on. Hey man, thanks for actually sharing the fact that you sat through a fucking multiple minutes of pedo bullshit. Think about the cameraman who had to film that shit.
I'd rather not.
Degenerate he was.
Think about the fact that he should be in jail right now for producing fucking pedophile art and shit.
Exactly. But man, no, I wanted to jump in here because y'all were talking about the whole RBG thing, and I'm just kind of like, I'm just disgusted. I'm like, hey, at least let them plant the bitch before you really want to destroy her.
Boss, you are not wrong. Like, yo, dude, and by the way, you're always welcome to come the fuck over here. You know the deal.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, and I appreciate it. But yeah, I've got to go.
I would love it if like I showed up to your fucking stream sometime and you tossed me a link. That would be fucking awesome.
But you know I would, but you know how my show runs. It's very structured. I hit and run the whole.
Yo, look, seriously, I would have bitch slapped the fuck out of that dude you had on this week.
Oh, dude. I was trying so much to be nice to him, dude.
Not like you could have been nice to him. You just had to run over him with facts. It's not that difficult.
Yeah. I was being nice to him. I really was. But yeah, man. Hey, look, I appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all in the chat. If you don't know who I am, I'm Aircraft Sparky, man. Come by, check my shit out. Like it, subscribe it, whatever or not, man. It's all good. Just a fat guy giving commentary. And
yeah, man. He has lots of people on his show that are too scared to come on mine.
Pussies.
Right, yo, because I'd run them the fuck over.
Right? I'll be on
hey, but that cat actually, I thought it was weird. He was just randomly, I guess he's just randomly getting in touch with YouTubers with bigger audiences than his and his 22 subscribers. And I just figured, what the hell? I mean, hell,
was he a commie or like a right-wing spurg? What's going on?
Social dim.
One of them.
Yeah, social dim, social justice activist type. Honestly, the guy is a defense attorney, and he was doing horribly against me. He should have wiped the floor with me. I'm not that smart, but I mean, he got me on. There was a couple points. Like, okay, I'll give you a point there, whatever. But he was so obstinate, and the dude just hates.
I would have ran him the fuck over. I thought like legit you were losing most of that. And I mean, just because like you don't have the facts to like bury him with his fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you're not carrying over shit that I put out on my videos. Like, you need to bring those facts up and just run him the fuck over with all the information I give you.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And you know what? If you don't pay attention to Tom P's shit, dude, I use Tom P's economic shit all the time. If there's anything that I trust from you, man, it is your economics. Your take on economics. I have backed it up with a lot of academic shit. Looking at it, trying to see if you're messing it up.
And I never do.
Geopolitics is mostly my thing. That's where I'm at.
I've been getting into that a lot recently. You know what I'm saying?
Question mark.
So, but yeah, man, I got to get out of here. Thank you for having
right.
me by. I enjoyed it. Y'all have a great night. Take care and God bless.
No, brother. God
You
bless.
too, man. Peace. All right, let's bring TK Mal back in here. All right, here we
that
go.
was
TK Mal, he's
fucking
having a problem
wholesome.
with his mic.
Oh, shit.
Yo, man, look, man, listen.
Yeah,
all right, that
sorry.
dude there, legit. Yo, he
Okay.
gets these monster dudes on his fucking channel, and it be pissing me the fuck off, legit, because they will not come talk to Tom Pease, because I would legit run them motherfuckers the fuck over.
I kind of had an epiphany a little while ago. I don't know if it's an epiphany or maybe just black pilling, but I'm pretty sure debate is now useless. And the reason why is because thanks to the internet, it is so easy to load up your fucking artillery shells with as much bullshit as you can and fire it at your opponent. And your opponent does not have the time to read every article, every link, every study in the middle of debate, but they can just fire that shit off. The most well publicized example I can think of was the debate between I Hypocrite and Vosh. I don't know if you guys saw that one. It was a while ago.
How
But,
to fucking die?
he will. Based on his
dude.
fucking dietary decisions, he'll be in the ground in the next 10 years or so. But anyway, so Vaush is doing what Vaush does. He's gaslighting, and he's doing the whole, well, you actually think, like, are you one of those people that thinks that Antifa is a bigger threat than the alt-right? And so he fires off some fucking horseshit link about that demonstrates that 95% of extremist violence in 2019 was perpetrated by the far right. And of course, this is a long study. This is a long research paper. So iHypocrite does not have the time to dissect it. So after the debate, he spends an hour and a half streaming him reading it and breaking it down piece by piece. And guess what it showed?
That left-wing violence was the majority of violence.
It's even better than that. All they did was they took all Muslim extremism and they just drew a big circle around it, and they said that's right wing. That's right wing. They don't like gays, so that's right wing. And that's all they did. So like the majority of violence in the country was Muslim. The majority was like Muslims braining gay people or attacking women, whatever, and they just clap. But it took him an hour and a half to break that down. And for that reason, debate on the internet is extremely difficult to do in good faith, because you're going to find sources that corroborate your point of view. But it's so easy to bullshit those sources, and it's so easy to be lied to. Like the James Lindsay, the thing. I don't know if you've seen the work James Lindsay has done, but he's an ex-academic, I guess, and he made quite the name for himself when he and his colleague, whose name escapes me right now, started submitting papers for publishing that were complete bullshit. Yeah. So when he did that to me is so terrifying, because now you have people like Vosh, people like Destiny, people who are basically either, if not outright communist doorstops, who can take that bullshit, whether or not the people who are writing it know it's bullshit, or it's just confirmation bias, or it's just bad science, whatever. They can take those research papers that are published in peer-reviewed academic journals, which are not peer-reviewed anymore, but they call them peer-reviewed, and then they can say, this is settled science. Look at this research. This is the state of anti-reality that we live in now, where it does not matter what is real.
All you have to do is get economic. Yo, TK, go ahead, man. You've been waiting.
All right. So, like, this is such a multifaceted problem. It's really hard to know where to start on this type of thing. And if you hear frustration in my voice, it's not at you. It's at the other people in the scientific field who I've interacted with, who just have no idea this is even a fucking problem. It's so fucking frustrating. So here's what's going on. What you have is what's called a tiered society in academia. And the real problem here is that every different discipline has a different take on how it's going down. If you get into the more hard sciences, they typically think of themselves as superior to the soft sciences, which have the social justice stuff going on.
Humanities.
Because they think of themselves as more pure because they use math as a basis. They think that makes them immune to some of the social shit that's going on.
And that's not true.
It's impossible.
That's just completely not true. So that's part of the problem going on, is that every layer of like the scientific community thinks it has something holding itself up. Like if you talk to the biologists, they talk about something akin to like observable reality, where they think, you know, the fact that we actually have to test our stuff against reality before we can make a paper is what exempts us from being corrupted from the social justice stuff. And every single discipline has its own version of that. They all have their great reasons, and they all have their like line that they will not cross. But the problem is, in every single one of these disciplines, like
The lines don't intersect, so they're not actually covered.
Well, not just that. There's a lot of people jerking each other off.
Right. So
yeah, I mean, like string theory, for instance, right? Like string theory is utter and complete bullshit. Like the whole thing front to back is complete garbage. It's just a bunch of fucking garbage motherfuckers jerking each other off and fucking going, you did a good job. You did a good job. Oh, you did a good job. Oh, you did a great job. And like you're just running around fucking breaking each other's arms to pat each other on the fucking back. That's all that fucking nonsense is, and it's fucking trash, and it pisses me to fuck off to no.
Isn't that just because that's theoretical physics though? Because theoretical is by definition impossible to prove.
No, it's all physics. They had the same fucking problem, and like they have the Science Channel, which fucking is like this physicist dude, and like he was trying to get this basic thing to measure like how far a fucking ball would be thrown if it was like connecting with a fucking bat or some bullshit like that, right? And he sat down and tried to do the math with a fucking well-known physics equation, and he couldn't fucking do it because like the math equation was fucking garbage because they just sat there and jerked each other off and pretended it was real and never actually tested it.
And this this has to do with string theory?
Let me go ahead, because like I've dealt with some of these things a bit more than Pinoid has directly. So like I wish I could say that he's wrong in like totality, but I really can't. The only thing I can say is like if you're talking about specifics and shit, what's going on is like the best way I can describe it is that physics at its heart, in principle, is the philosophy of nature. Like that's if we're going to do some all the way back to Mises shit. So in practice, as a physicist, what I want to do is try to put some numbers together that will describe something that happens in reality. So there are two ways you can go with that. There's the academic route and there's the applied route. Those two types of people have completely different ideas, and all the applied physicists, the people who are using physics properly to actually get shit done, they have almost no voice in the public space because they are inventing shit. They're doing shit. Like, if it's basically the kind of those who can do, those who can't teach type thing.
It's the difference
Academia-
between a mixed martial artist who spends 10 years getting his ass kicked in gyms and the Wing Chun master who spent 50 years studying scrolls and
No.
going through the motions.
No,
'Cause
no, no,
not-
no, no. Think
no,
of it.
no.
Think of it. No, 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 no. Think about it like this. Think about it like this, right? You ever seen Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield?
Forever ago.
Okay, there was a point where Rodney Dangerfield was in class with fucking this bullshit economics business teacher dude, right? And fucking he stands here and like Rodney Danger already has a business, right? He already has like a multi-billion-dollar business that's set up that sells big and tall shit all over the fucking world or whatever, or all over the country.
Right.
Right. And fucking he goes, fucking this guy goes, well, you're gonna need this and this and this and this and this, right? Or whatever. And I mean, it's like, you're gonna need land and you're gonna need fucking money for fucking contractors and money for that and fucking whatever, right? And then Rodney Dangerfield goes, what about the money for the union? What about the money for kickbacks for the guy? Right? What about monies for fucking, paying off the local officials? What about monies for greasing the hand for the project?
Things you would only know about if you had done it.
There you go. That's the big goddamn difference, right? It's literally like people in the field, like they don't go into academia because they're making money.
It's really interesting because that there is a big problem with that on the internet around the business sphere, because the business sphere on the internet is very much a hollow sort of paper tiger, because the majority of people who are good at business are doing fucking business. They're not doing podcasts. They're not doing shows. They're not doing webinars. They're not doing any of that shit. They're running their fucking business. And then you have people who maybe they'll sell like 5 houses and then open up a webinar on how to make millions of dollars selling real estate. And so what they're doing is they're peddling horse shit because they haven't actually done the shit. And so they're selling a very watered, dumbed down, not like theoretical version of what actually gets shit done.
Yeah, that's kind of the deal, right? That's a difference between academia and real life. You know what I'm saying? So like that's
100%.
Yeah, like so that's what's going on. Like fucking all these fucking people in academia like have no idea what's going on in the business field. Like they have no idea about what's actually happening with engineering across the fucking world.
And unfortunately, somehow they simultaneously end up in the fucking manager positions.
Oh,
Like-
always.
Yeah,
Like-
and they're the ones who get their papers fucking published. They're the ones who get put on Time magazine. They're the ones who get put in Popular Mechanics instead of the people who are actually doing it.
Yeah, like I feel you on that. Like the thing that I really like to talk about, and it might just be because I'm completely autistic and insane, but matter of fact, I guarantee you it is because I'm autistic and insane. Like one time when I was a student, let's just put it like that, in physics, and I was on all those sorts of mailing lists, I got a paper from a dude who wanted just anyone to co-sign his paper, because what happened there was he had something that was a fantastic numerical approximation to basically relativity as far as satellites are concerned. And the thing is that he modeled it in terms of a fluid, time being a fluid, which is completely fucking insane. Like, don't even get me started on what kind of bullshit you can be talking if you are modeling time with fluid dynamics. Like, people will shit themselves if they look at this in any sort of rational manner, mechanistic. But I looked at it, and me being a dumbass undergrad or whatever the fuck it was, I was like, I wonder if this works out numerically. And it did. So, like, what I'm saying is that a lot of times insane bullshit on paper works.
Like communism.
No. I'm not talking about communism. I'm not talking about like damn near anarcho-capitalism. Like, if you just let people do what they fucking do, you would be retardedly amazed by the kind of shit that can happen. Like, people who would not associate with each other in quote unquote polite society just get along like fucking bandits. It is insane the type of shit that happens when you put aside what you think is common sense. At the same time, if you like lay out your paperwork in a straight manner and actually try to do things by what you think is the convention, instead of looking at what you were talking about, what is the philosophy of what you want done, how that physically can happen, that's a different type of thinking. Like, that is physics. It's putting numbers to what can happen in reality.
No, here's the issue though, right? Here's the issue that you run into. Like I run into I used to run into engineers when I was in the industrial field, right? And I was the dude who they said, Tom, go get some bodies and get some shit done. There's a difference between what they say something can do and what it actually can do, right? Like there's a massive difference. Like I literally lifted probably twice the weight of something's tensile strength. You know what I'm saying? With, like, because like a cable or whatever the case might be. And it's something that they go, what's safe versus what's fucking, can actually be done. And like, physics people, academics, they don't actually put their hands on nothing. They don't really know what anything's really capable of or what it can fucking really do. So therefore their math often is skewed from the very beginning of it.
Yeah, I definitely feel you. And I definitely have a different point of view because, like, I was fucking hauling grain for hogs and shit before I learned how physics worked. So, like, I obviously have a different kind of perspective on exactly what's going on there. But what I'm saying is that, like, there is a fundamental difference between like academics and field of whatever you're talking about. And like, just because people go through college doesn't necessarily mean that they have that college mindset. Like, unfortunately, there are just some things that you have to learn in college. Like, not gonna lie, this is super sketch, but I learned in a university setting how to enrich uranium. I don't think I'm ever going to personally need that knowledge. Hear that, FBI? I am not going to enrich uranium.
Yo, stop saying it. This isn't your fucking channel. God damn it.
You found out how to do it in Minecraft. It was a fucking blog post. You're not supposed to learn, except breaks the game, but
Yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ. God damn it. Stop saying that shit.
Stop building nukes in Minecraft. You're breaking the server.
Yeah, like Jesus fucking Christ. Like I have enough fucking problems on fucking YouTube. like legit, I have fucking 2,300 goddamn subscribers and shit. They hand out notifications to like 30 people. Would you stop?
What's up, guys? It's Scarce here. Today we're going to be talking about a YouTuber called Pinoy that nobody knew about, but he just got banned yesterday. Apparently he had some crazy person talking about building nukes and going to war with China. I don't really know what happened, but here's a screenshot from Twitter.
Yo, man, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah, but man, listen, that's just like, that's why like I gotta talk about economics a lot, is because economics is like the best way to talk about things. And like if you look at places like Kenosha, Wisconsin, right, for instance, where they're burning the goddamn place down, they're like, Kenosha has history, right? For instance, Kenosha used to be the place where AMC Motors and Chrysler had a massive fucking industrial plant that built things. About 20 years ago, right? And legit, after 20 years of degradation, after fucking deindustrialization, you might have a place that's a goddamn powder cake. I'm just saying, maybe we should have a conversation about that rather than talking about racism, because it makes way more sense to talk about, hey, these people had their living taken away and can't support their families. Why are they acting the way they are?
Why the hell is a lifeguard picking up an AR-15 and running against a fucking mob? Like that is a probably conversation that we need to have at some point.
This is the unfortunate situation that we keep running into. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about the cognitive moat. Having a long form, nuanced, objective discussion about the overarching effects of an economy that's being drowned out by immigration and a bunch of other really terrible policies that are resulting in something like Kenosha is not digestible. It's not sexy. It's not to the point, and it can't be. It can't be. It can't be marketed. Racism bad can be marketed. Black Lives Matter can be marketed, and that fits within inside the cognitive moat of societal consciousness. People in general can understand that, and so that is what can be sold to the masses. And that's the attention span that we're dealing with here. We're dealing with TikTok levels.
Hang on. I'm a state. Wait, let me state my case one more time. I want to see how long it takes me. Kenosha, Wisconsin used to have a massive industrial base that built automobiles that were exported across the fucking world, including places like France and the United Kingdom, and also manufactured a shit ton of cars for the US market. And now it's closed down, and 20 years later, there's a racist powder keg there. Maybe it's not about racism. Maybe it's about deindustrialization. All right, that was exactly 28 seconds.
All right. So yeah. The only thing I gotta say is I've been hands-on with machines for the last couple weeks. I'm not gonna say much more than that because I'd be doxing myself. So you are at a point right now where you can put a specialized piece of manufacturing equipment in a garage, and if it was not touched 90% of the time, nobody would give a shit, okay? You cannot tell me that if we can export fucking manufacturing to halfway across the world, we can't just tell people to go make shit on their off hours. Like, you can't tell me that's not possible, especially with the amount of bullshit money that we're slanging around. Like,
again, this gets into my other point. This is the other point of my fucking argument, is the fact that like most of these places that have been deindustrialized have these fucking permit rules and these regulations and fucking zoning laws and all the things that stop them from doing so. And we need to eliminate them immediately, because these people need an opportunity to be able to build a business without having to meet all the dumb fucking criteria that comes with being a fucking, service sector economy in a massively industrialized society.
You're not wrong.
That's right. Like, this is libertarianism can save us. Like, this isn't that fucking difficult. Legit. I don't know why it is that like fucking people don't fucking think of this first. Like, for fuck's sake.
I don't know, man.
I don't see how people don't understand that you can be a perfectly industrialized individual society in today's era with AI without putting people out of work, as long as you make it so that it's not just cheaper to export fucking slave labor. Like, that's the hang up there as far as automation goes, because automation at this point only automates fucking delegation, basically. The thing that automation challenges more than anything else is middle managers. Because if you look at the AI software that actually sells and is worth its asking price in terms of like return on investment, it is managing software. Basically, it directs emails, calls, all that, and texts and bullshit to the appropriate people, so you can eliminate like 2-3 levels of middle management with a freaking computer. Now, like, that sounds super freaking brutal to some fucking office worker, but what it also means is if you don't need that 2-3 levels of middle management, that means that if I need a bolt made to like some bullshit fucking, like, I need it halfway done, like, I don't really even care about the tolerances, then I can send it off to some teenager who is like a block away via blockchain or whatever the fuck kind of contracting system we want to come up with if we are under, the more libertarian zoning laws and that kind of thing. Like, the biggest problem here is that it is just retardedly cheap to ship jobs like that overseas because of the way we fix exchange rates and we let China have our industrial capacity, through one method or another. If you actually have to account for, paying a person to produce everything in the supply chain, it is cheaper to have stuff done here. It's only cheaper to have it done in China because they have freaking slaves.
I think a lot of it comes down to normalcy. We're used to going to the store and buying products and trying to get most of America to stop doing that so that they can go and 3D print that or get it from their local machinist. Most people aren't going to even like consider that. They're like, no, I know what I like and I'm going to stick with it. That's one of the biggest problems that I've run into with a lot of libertarians. I agree fundamentally with everything that libertarians stand for. It's just people are fucking lazy and people don't want to work harder. And people in general. I mean, I know that the majority of the people who find themselves in these kind of circles and discussing these kind of ideas would prefer to be 100% self-sustaining, and they don't want to have to rely on anybody else, and they like working hard and they like working on projects and they like growing. But most people don't, unfortunately. Most people just want their fucking box wine and their Xanax and their cummies, to quote James also. And they just want they just want that, and that's it. And if you get in the way of that, you're a problem.
Yeah, the thing is though, like, you have hang on, man. Like, the thing is though, like, you have to remember, like, it wasn't, our fucking massive industrial might that won World War II. The reality was it was won by guys in the fucking field who legitimately came off of fucking farms and could fix every fucking piece of equipment that broke down because most of them fucking did. Right. And that's what America's always been good at, and that's what America used to be. It used to be like just a massive bunch of people who fucking went, I'm not buying it if I can't fix it with a fucking WD-40 and a Craftsman wrench. You know what I'm saying? And that's really where things are. And that's where it needs to get back to. Like, again, like me and fucking Steel Snake, we're from the Appalachians. We pride ourselves on being able to fix everything we fucking own. That's why I only buy GM vehicles. I buy something with a fucking V8 that I can goddamn work on. And I know that the technology's as old as fucking I am or older. And I can sit there and fucking fix it. And I don't have to worry about fucking being retrained to know how to fucking use a goddamn fucking reprogram a fucking computer to fix my fucking car. And this is some important shit. Like, I fix lawnmowers, I fix leaf blowers, I fix fucking boat motors. Like, I can work on fucking damn near anything: washing machines, dryers, fucking refrigerators, fucking microwaves, air conditioners. I can do all this type of shit. But the issue is that, like, fucking today, we have all this cheap fucking goods from overseas built by fucking slaves. It costs like $100, and it would literally be fucking worth. Like, I had a dude yesterday offer me this massive fucking big fucking giant fucking air conditioner and shit. And he said, "You fix air conditioners?" I said, "I do, but it's just not worth it for me to do." You know what I mean? Like, it's not, because people legitimately, they don't, how do I put this? They're not willing to pay me for my fucking labor.
And that is the underlying problem with this entire concept, is that most people, they don't see investing the amount of time that it would take to be a jack of all trades as worth it, as an investment that they would be willing to make. It's not worth it to them to learn how to fix their car when they can just pay somebody to fix it. It's not worth it to learn how to fix their AC when they can buy, another AC unit from Walmart or whatever with slave labor. And that is the extent of what most people will like spend as far as brain power on something like this. Is like, it's fucking broken, I'll get a replacement. Or like, most people don't think, how can I fix this? How can I grow as a result of this? How can I be better? It's just buy something that fixes the problem.
All right, I feel you, but like I also feel like you're playing the ball where it is, not necessarily where it was or where it's going. Like we got to ask ourselves, why is it the case that now we'd rather spend, say, $5 on a disposable pen instead of $15 on a refillable pen?
Because most people don't really. Well, maybe I would be dissecting that analogy too much, but
because you'll lose that $5 fucking pen, and you won't fucking care about it. That's why.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to get at is like, why are we okay with cheaper, shittier products as opposed to something with longevity that doesn't have like some sort of planned obsolescence? And is that what you were trying to get at?
Yeah, like that is. I just heard a hey. Was that on my end or your end?
It was very faint. I don't know.
I don't know. He said something about mind erasers. I don't fucking know.
Steel Snake, is that you? Are you saying hey?
Sorry, I'm trying to use this fucking speech to text thing and it keeps fucking up. I'm sorry. I don't think I moved far enough away from the microphone.
Oh, you're good, all right, you're good. You're good, man. You're good. But we barely heard anything you said. Yeah, but like legit, fucking, we've had this problem in the country for a long time, and I'll tell you what a lot of it is. It's, again, we get back to, we've empowered females and they control the fucking pocketbooks of most of these fucking households. So now we have fucking shit that's bought for dirt cheap because they don't care about having to fix it.
It's a lot of it comes down to like, oh, somebody else trying to answer.
You go first, Ross.
I was just going to say, a lot of it comes down to standard of living. A lot of people become very comfortable in their current standard of living. And I don't just mean that financially. I mean, like the time of day that you wake up, the kind of food that you eat on a daily basis, the things you do that don't cause you pain, that get you by, becomes your standard of living. And so, and a lot of people don't consider that they can vastly change that. They don't even consider that for a second. That's why we live in a country with the best, or one of the best economies, with internet falling out of our fucking assholes, and yet almost everyone's obese, even though all it takes is like an hour, 2 hours of research to find out how the body works, what food kills your immune system and your metabolism, and what helps you lose weight. But most people don't take the time to do that, and so for that reason, the situation that we're in now is a result of the standard of living that we have as a society. We're not going to most Americans are not going to step out of their comfort zone to try to create a better tomorrow when today doesn't hurt too much, and they don't have to change anything as a result.
All right, I am 100% on board with everything you just said. However, I think what you're describing are symptoms, not the problem type thing. I think the fundamental problem is that we have too many freaking nerds in our society, as people might say. We have too many people thinking of stuff, typing fingers on their freaking computer, and then exporting those ideas to someone else, and that turns into freaking numbers on a bank account. And that becomes a foundation of, what people make bank loans against and shit. Like, I feel like a fundamental problem with our society right now is that too many people are selling things that are not physical freaking things, just because of the way that our banking works. Like, I feel like if you look at it that way, what you're talking about becomes a natural consequence. I'm not disregarding what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, it looks like that's more of a secondary or a tertiary effect of like a larger industrial, like, societal movement. Like, if you look at the fall of Greece or Rome, that's when they start looking at these, like, that's when their society started getting like obsessed with hermaphrodites or transsexuals and that kind of thing. Like, that seems to be a symptom of society in decay, not necessarily like the central cause there. It's kind of like if you're looking at your daughters or young females being sexually promiscuous, if I'm going to like be super conservatively worded about it, even though I just probably dropped a K-bomb at some point here.
You haven't yet. Though you did fucking try to talk about, you know, I mean, building nuclear fucking weapons on my stream.
On Minecraft doesn't count.
I learned how to do it, not necessarily that I would tell your audience.
Allegedly.
He'll
get banned from all the servers, but he'll be fine.
No, I'm pretty sure that
your theory is that the current state of, I guess you could say, learned helplessness that we find ourselves in a society is a symptom of the problem. And what is the problem? Success? Is this like hard times, weak men kind of thing?
It would be if we weren't like in the midst of like a Ponzi scheme collapsing. Basically, like if you're going like 100% back to the problem, we're going to have to look at like regression theorem as far as like what is currency, because like you value dollars because you expect them to buy you something in the future. You have that expectation because in the past, dollars also bought you something. So what can happen is that in between the past and the future, people can swap out whatever dollars represented into what the fuck ever, and you not be aware of that. So, like, that's the problem with our monetary system right now, is that instead
I literally have no idea what he's saying.
Right. I might have gone a little bit too far, and I might be like crossfaded as fuck. But
yeah, I have literally, like, yo, because we were talking about the fall of civilization, and you got into like trading dollars or trading your fucking currency for whatever fucking some shit, and then like some other shit. Right.
So, yeah, let me see if I can,
like, I was with you, like, because I was completely with you up until like when you said like transgenders and shit is like a symptom of the fucking collapse. It's something that like it's a crack.
Let's see if we can,
like,
let's see if we can find the map markers and build a bridge between the two. So we were talking about obviously the points that everyone who talks about this shit has hammered home a million times about society collapsing because things have become too weak and soft. And you were talking more about then you were making a point about businesses and people being more non-tangibly oriented as far as like what they're making. They're designing things that are like digital products instead of physical things now, and they're paying for it with digital currency. And I'm having a hard time connecting the two.
Okay, so does everyone here know what a derivative is?
Yes.
Fill
in for anyone.
Okay, so a derivative is a rate of change. That is the basic way to say it in mathematical terms. But it also means that like it's a financial product that is made out of a different product is a different way to look at it. Like
it's a bet. It's a bet against a different product. Like a derivative is anything that is not the actual product or the actual stock, but a derivative of that stock, like a short, a put, a call. Like say it is like if like something's you say something's going to change a certain percentage, like you'll buy it at 30 and sell it at 27 or whatever the case might be, and then you get the $3 difference, right? So it's like you're betting on the rate of change, or you're betting on the fucking downgrade or upgrade of a certain commodity. Right. So that's like a derivative of that product, or like if you're selling paper representational nominal value of fucking gold or silver, right? That's a derivative. And I mean, just these are derivatives of something the fuck else that's actually, tangible or real.
All right. So given that what that means in real terms for someone who is buying something, that means that if you buy, say, an ounce of gold, silver, or a pound of wood, or a physical product, what the price is based on today is basically what you would expect to replace that product for tomorrow. Like that is the basic real world interpretation of like a derivative price.
Well, that's a futures contract or a futures commodity.
Yeah, but like that ends up determining the derivative price. Like a spot price of gold or silver, for example, is ended up being determined vastly by the derivatives price, which is based on the futures prices on that type of thing, right?
Well, no, the gold spot price of what you actually paying is what you're going to buy it for right now.
Yeah, well, plus or minus whatever we got here, right?
Well, I mean, taxes and shipping or whatever fucking case might be for delivery, but I mean, like you might pay a premium, but like it's actually like if you buy like a gold futures contract, that's a different thing than actually buying, a spot price. If you buy the spot price of gold, that's on that spot right now. That's what the price is today, not what the price is going to be tomorrow. Because you may be buying that gold so that you can sell it tomorrow at a higher price because you think it's going to go up.
Yeah, I 100% feel you, but I am saying at this point, the futures price determines the spot price.
Okay, just so we don't go off in the weeds, what is this? We're building a through line to the earlier conversation to this foundation.
All right, yeah, let's go past this because like we're gonna have a disagreement about fucking gold and silver, and like I don't want to get into the weeds about this.
Super autismo.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm really autistic because I will get deep on.
Yeah. Like we're disagreeing about minutia here, basically. Like I don't think we're going to disagree that the fact that futures prices exist affects the spot price. Like we can discuss how exactly that determines or how that's related to the spot price, but they're related at the very least. Can I say that before
we'll go that way for the moment.
But the way that current markets work and current debt markets work is, like Pinoid said before, a lot of it is just chasing any sort of returns. So what you end up with is that people don't invest based on what they think can actually create something useful. People are investing based on digits on a screen that they largely do not understand. That fundamentally changes what money is. And I think the fact that we are not physically handling our savings just psychologically breaks us.
Physically handling our savings.
You're talking about the like difference between plastic or digital spending and actually having cash in your hand. There's been a lot of studies about this, and that's why they tend to give out debit cards and they want to go to more of an electronic system than having actual cash. But like, here's the reality about it, though. The truth of the matter is why it is that you don't want to actually physically hold silver or hold actual U.S. currency is because it's constantly being devalued. So savings is kind of fucking dumb. Like you shouldn't
Yeah.
save anymore because saving is stupid.
Yeah.
As a
Like,
whole.
you're not wrong, but I also think that the fact that we all use Federal Reserve notes is that's a consequence of us using a fiat currency, not the consequence of a person holding a physical currency.
Well, no. All right. So here's the deal. Here's the problem. So if you want to have a modern economy, okay, you have to have credit, and credit has to expand, right? And so you have to expand your money supply to allow individuals to stand here to be able to have fucking credit to buy things, start businesses, pay payrolls, get inventory, fucking buy houses, cars, fucking finance, fucking future expenditures, right? And the more people that you have, like for instance, like 1996, we had 260,000 people or 260 million people. Today we have fucking, 350 million, right? If you have a constantly expanding population, you have to constantly expand the fucking money supply and the currency supply, right? And you can't have a physical money that's tied to real, actual physical fucking goods like gold or silver or whatever the case might be because of the fact that gold and silver backed fucking currency, you're never going to be able to have enough of it to be able to have enough dollars to maintain any type of real, what's the word I'm looking for here? Valuation of currency for long-term savings. You're always going to end up having to like fucking go, all right, well, it was $35 an ounce. Now it's 36. Now it's 40. Now it's 50. Now it's 80. Now it's 100. Right. And you're going to have to keep fucking doing that over and over again. So it's going to have a devaluation of currency because you're going to have to expand the fucking supply one way or another. It is what it is.
I fundamentally disagree on that, just because I think if your economy is expanding, your mining capabilities will also expand. Especially,
Wait, your what?
Your mining capabilities will expand.
There's only so much gold in the fucking dirt is the issue.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've realized, but you can just pull gold out of the sky if you're really, really trying hard enough.
It's really expensive to do.
So what does this have to do with that through line we were trying to build with a failing, collapsing society and non-physical money?
Basically, I guess we're disagreeing on whether non-physical money is a symptom or a cause of failing society, I suppose. I personally think it is a cause, not a symptom. And Pinoid apparent, like, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm probably going to get this wrong. From what I can tell, you're saying that you need a non-physical money just in order to extend enough credit for a modern society to work, or a modern monetary system to work. And I just don't feel that is correct with the advent of an ETF.
Here's the problem, right? So like if you want to be able to have individuals to like be able to reach and like achieve their dreams, you have to give them the opportunity to expand credit over a longer period of time to do so, right? That's the issue. Because if you continue to have, like, for instance, if you have like say all the land in Manhattan's bought up, right? The cost of land is going to go up. But the bitch is like, it's going to go up to the point of where you're no longer going to have enough money at that point to fucking be able to buy it. Like all the money is going to be tied up in just that real estate. I mean, without the rest of the country. And that's the issue that you have. Like, so when you have a set amount of money, when you have a set amount of fucking, dollars in the system because it's backed by a certain amount of fucking actual real physical assets, you can't expand it is the problem. Right. And you have to be able to expand it to allow individuals to be able to, say like, fucking go and buy a house or, fucking do any of these type of things that need to be done to be able to allow the average person to have the opportunity to fucking, live their life that they want to live and give them that chance. You know what I'm saying? You feel where I am?
I feel you. I feel where you are, but what I'm saying is, say you have a physical backed currency, there is nothing preventing a free market from allowing a fractional reserve bank in that system. Like, the main thing there is that you have to have like a free market number on exactly what you're talking about there. Like,
Well, you do already.
no, you don't.
No, you do. You do. Like, fucking the market actually sets the price of what treasury bills is worth, and treasury bills are what fucking the dollar's printed against.
I feel you, but the Fed also sets that rate more or less unilaterally because the Fed is the primary buyer and seller of treasuries.
Well, I'll give you a for instance, right? I'll give you a really good for instance. Back in October of last year, they had what was known as the overnight crisis, right? And basically, in overnight markets, they were standing here having, fucking lack of liquidity in the funds. So what happened was the interest rates to be able to borrow money, to be able to fucking go and interact inside of these funds overnight. Right, where you're borrowing on a short term basis, like 1 day or 2 weeks or 9 weeks, whatever. It was really short term. It wasn't like 6 month or 2 year, 5 year, nothing like that. It was very, very short terms. Right,
Yeah,
they went from like 1% the whole way up to like fucking like 23% at one point, and they had to pump in liquid cash. Right, the markets regulate themselves as to what the actual real fucking loans of the fucking lines of interest are on what loans and what fucking things are going to be, especially between banks and fucking customers. Right, the market already sets this price to begin with. I know the Fed sets what banks borrow for the Fed for, and it's at 0% right now. Right. So, that's kind of where things really are. Like, it's already set by a free market, because if the banks are borrowing at 0% and you're paying 3 or 5 for a mortgage, it might go down. It might go down to like 1.5 to 2. It might go up to like 6, depending on where it is. But ultimately, the private market setting what the fucking cost of the dollars is to borrow. So that's setting the actual price of the currency inside of the market.
Like, yes and no. The point I was more getting at is that what we need is more
getting so.
Yeah, this is getting like turbo autismo. Like,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I haven't been. I don't. This is my first time on your show, so I don't want to be like, I have no idea what's going on, because I don't know if this is what your show's normally like. But I hope chat's following.
All the time. See, we
okay.
had the same amount of people watching. Like, legit, this is what we do all the fucking time. We get these economic, legit, this is what I'm saying. Like, you say, do I do MGTOW stuff? Sometimes. Most of the times it turns into this, which I'm fucking perfectly cool with, because like everybody around gets to learn some shit, and educate themselves about some of the things that are going on. And it's really important that we understand how our fucking money and our currency, there's a big difference between money and currency. Money is actually something that has a store of value, and currency is something that's, fucking printed out by a government or an institution that says that it's, fucking there to fucking represent, some shit that has a store of value, or that, is, going to be able to buy goods and fucking services with, so there's two different fucking things we're talking about here. And, almost all currencies are, fiat, which means fiat literally means by decree of the king, right? That's what fiat actually means in fucking Latin. So that's where that fucking term really comes from. It's basically, this is what the king says it's supposed to be.
I thought it meant shitty car.
Yeah, I feel you. It's Italian for shitty car.
Let's see. A little less of an autistic angle, that plans on if Biden wins. What do you think's going to happen, and do you have contingencies?
I got guns and ammo.
Yeah. Basically that same thing there. By the way, nobody on Beanwood's channel be afraid to tell me to just fucking mute myself for a minute, because like I am more than willing to admit the fact that I can get pretty sloppy on stream. So like I feel what's going on.
You've been around for a long time with us, man. So we fucking show you a lot of love. You know what I mean? Because you've shown us a lot of love over the years and whatnot. It is what it is. Like, you were one of the first people to donate to my fucking channel back when I first started streaming back in like 2017, something like that. So we love you out here. So it is what it is. You could behave however the fuck you want, as long as you're not really fucking up my channel.
long as you're not building nukes in Minecraft.
That's important. That's important. Don't get my channel nuked off of YouTube. Yeah, but like, yeah, man, fucking, Biden, if he wins, I'm assuming it's just more of the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the main problem if Biden wins is the fact that like public education will go from like bad to worster. Like it is
Worcester.
worster. Like
That shit is going to Massachusetts.
yeah. Like you have no idea how bad it is right now. Like they are teaching kindergartners to hate their grandparents and shit. Like it is absolutely fucking stupid. Like I spend at least an hour every day trying to tell every public teacher I come across because I am in a situation to do that there is a specific
Yo, man, legit. Yo, your shit's fucking like feeding back real bad. Mute yourself for a second.
all right.
Fucking what you gotta do. All right, yeah. Jeez, that shit hurt my ears. All right, anyway, fucking yeah. What the hell? Oh, fucking I was talking with some kids today. I was fucking out. I had my kids out at the park, and I take the basketball down to motherfucking, play some ball, fucking get some exercise, that type of shit. And as I'm playing basketball, like this fucking little light-skinned kid comes over, little porky motherfucker. And then like two more black kids come over to play ball because I'm playing basketball, right? And I'm sitting here, I'm playing ball with these kids. And like, I was like, why the fuck ain't y'all kids in school? Because it was like fucking 2:00 in the afternoon. And they're like, oh, coronavirus. And I was like, the fuck you mean coronavirus?
Coronavirus.
they were saying it's the coronavirus, right? And like, shit.
Did you watch, like, right quick, did you watch Cardi B and Joe Biden's interview?
No. I'm not doing it.
It was so fucking stupid. Sorry, continue.
Right. So I was standing there and I was talking to these kids and I was like, coronavirus. He's like, yeah, man, I'm scared of that coronavirus. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he's talking like a little hoodlum. Right. And fucking, I'm standing here and I'm like, you shouldn't be scared, man. Like, it doesn't really affect kids. It only affects adults. They go, oh, that's bullshit. And I was like, yo, man, first off, don't curse me. Secondly, like, legitimately, like, there's been like 10 kids in the entire world who have died of fucking coronavirus. You need to calm the fuck down. Legit. It's not hurting any fucking kids.
A lot more than 10 killed by fucking traffickers. Fucking head on a swivel.
Yo, look, man, these kids ain't no trafficker in the world kidnaps black kids from the Appalachians. All right, but don't do
No,
that
because
way.
they're free in Africa.
Right? You just go snatch them off a boat in the Mediterranean.
They'll fucking jump on your boat. Shit.
Like, all you gotta do is have some cookies. And you're good to
Africa's
go.
one nasty, disgusting penal colony for those people.
Actually, Victor, I'll be honest with you. The little light-skinned kid was one of the most respectful motherfuckers I've ever talked to. He was so nice. He walked up, shook my hand, introduced himself, and asked if he could play basketball with me, right? And kept telling me about his dad and, how like he's teaching him how to fucking, do the crossover and, have a decent jump shot and how they're working on the schoolwork. Like, legit, man. Like, fucking, I had I met his spots. A whole lot of respect for the dude. Doing a hell of a job with that fucking kid. I'll be honest with you.
His grandma has some fucking calluses on the back of her hand.
Boy,
If only you knew what I would do to you.
This boy. Not even gonna lie, like the number of people who I end up talking to who don't even know their dad's names is just stupid.
Yo, man, Victor Rant, legit. Yo, I always stand. He said, "Don't ruin my stereotypes." Like, yo, man, I'm gonna tell you what. Like, when I go up, like, I went up to fucking, like, I go to like the public lakes where they have like pools and shit, and like the public parks, like out in the middle of nowhere that have pools. They stand here and they have fucking like it's all black dudes and Puerto Ricans and Italians and shit out there with their kids, just dads teaching their kids how to swim and shit, man. It always fucking warms my heart to see a dad out there getting it done. And like, I'm so glad that, like fucking it's, bullshit. Yo, fucking, 3-4 Shota. What up, man? Welcome, my brother. Welcome. I like that shit, man. I always try to build motherfuckers up. I hate breaking them down. Snake, nigga, you ain't said nothing in a minute. What's going on?
Oh, I'm looking for a new side hoe. I had to let my last one go. So I'm fucking Snapchatting up whores.
Gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know. I've never been on Snapchat.
Yeah,
All right, Mr. Mouse,
it's
I like
literally just for finding whores. That's the only thing it's good for.
It is it's specifically designed so women can guilt-free send you nudes. That is the only reason why it exists.
Yo, I don't know what type of quality females you're looking for, but like legit, if you want some
Not.
super trashy joints, you should go to fucking Meet Me.
Oh, dude, I have a Meet Me. That's where
I
find
have
my
no idea what you're talking about.
Yo, Meet Me is terrible. You want to see the most awful bitches on planet Earth? Go to Meet Me. Legit. Guarantee you'll get laid tonight. Yo, real shit. But it ain't gonna be good. Wear a condom.
That is the fucking gutter of gutter sluts, that site. Holy shit. And they are cocky. They are cocky, nasty single moms.
They're all single mothers. Like every single chick I've ever met on Meet Me cheated on me within like 3 days. They're all fucked up.
Yo, legit. I met a chick on fucking Meet Me one time, right? I went and I fucking picked her up and I brought her back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a good look at her. This bitch had like 4 rows of teeth and a fucking 18 head, right? Somehow she found a fucking Instagram filter that motherfucking hid fucking an extra chromosome.
What I love about Meet Me though is the live feature. I don't know if the background noise is too bad. If it is, let me know.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
The live feature, because you'll be scrolling through live, especially live locals, and you'll see a girl with a pretty cute face, kind of nice, kind of high cheekbones, kind of slim. Tap on her live feed, immediately hop in, Jabba the fucking Hutt. You're like, whoa, where did you come from? You can't filter a live feed.
Right. So Meet Me, like a thing that I noticed, like, first of all, I've got some fucking stories about Meet Me, but there's a lot of women on there who like their profiles say like 29 and they look like 52. I'm like, bitch, you are not 29. She's like, yes, I am. I work in the sun. I'm like, where? In fucking Africa?
Where? On the surface of it? Shit.
Yeah, no shit. But like, okay, this one chick, she
like this bitch is an
I have
astronaut.
screenshots of this. It's fucking horrifying. But this one chick, she was like really disgustingly fat. And she had like retard face, and all of her pictures were with her grandmother. So clearly there's something wrong with this chick. She's like, hey, I like you. Come fuck me. I'm like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, come fuck me. I'm like, no. She's like, why not? I'm like, first of all, are you retarded? She's like, no, guys say I fuck real good. Like, come fuck me. Here's me with my grandmother. I'm like, oh my God. Please stop. And then she's like, why? Why are you so mean? I'm like, because you're gonna make me puke. And then she sent me like a picture of her fucking flapjack titty. I'm like, oh God, no. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that?
Because white bitches. Legit. Yo, man, and broads legit. Like they think they're worth fucking gold, and they'll be like fucking 260 pounds. And you're looking at them, and you're like, bitch, you're as heavy as I am, and like yo, I got like fucking 8 inches on you, and like a fuck ton of raw horsepower and muscle. Like yo, I don't understand. Like why? Who told you you were worth this much? For fuck's sake.
Yeah. I like how like people today, like I feel like there was a time when people were like limited by like what's it called, scarcity, but today people are limited by like prosperity. Like fat people get too much food, weak people like their lives are too easy.
They're also limited by delusion.
Not wrong.
Like holy shit! Like the Meet Me thing is so fast. Like it's funny because I was actually on Meet Me earlier on today. So it's so because I hadn't streamed on there in fucking ages, but I thought I'd just pop on. So this is fortuitous. Yeah, like the girls on there, they have such a high opinion of themselves, and they'll come in and they will raw, like dirty flirt with you in front of other girls. You tap on their profile, and it's just a pile of fucking tissue, and there's a face in there somewhere. And like, I'm just trying to imagine the male equivalent of just like a thumb with no chin of a dude with fucking man titties just aggressively going after a model. But they do it. They fucking do it. The arrogance of it, the arrogance and the delusion of it. It's I want to say that it's mind-boggling, but unfortunately, it really isn't at this point.
I don't understand like how that works. Legit, you know what I mean? Like bitches, like yo, they don't understand that their value is, you know what I mean, not based off of anything more than how the fuck they look on these apps. And they don't look that good. And you go like, ma, like, oh, you're like, I just seek out like fat chicks usually because it's just so much easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To talk a fat bitch out of her fucking panties and then go fucking lay down pipe and fucking not fucking call her again and don't give her your real name.
Well, that's the thing is that when you women don't think in the same terms that men do, but they trick themselves into thinking that they are, if that makes sense. Well, like, so a guy, if he can rope a model, that is his new standard as far as girls he can fuck, right? And if you can fuck a girl, you can date a girl, because that is your stand. Like, once you get her into bed, if you have a good enough personality to get her into bed, she already likes you as a person. So if she doesn't have a toxic as shit personality, you can make that bitch your girlfriend if you so choose. However, women think in these terms, which is completely fucking wrong. Because just because I can fuck you doesn't mean I will ever date you. But these girls, because there's a lot of dudes on Meet Me who, like, they put in fucking work, like guys who just crush the gym every day, or some dudes that just naturally have high testosterone. Not pointing fingers at any fucking specific continent that is ruining it for everyone. But these guys go out and they fuck all these disgusting whores, and these girls think that, well, I got this guy, I got that guy, so that's the kind of guy that I can attract. No, you are someone's last option, sweetheart. But I'm pretty sure there's like a limbo bar for the IQ of the average female that joins that fucking website. And wow, because they can't even understand concepts like that. But if you hang around long enough, you can meet some cool people.
Oh my God. So I came across this one bitch's profile. She's like, so I live in a trailer. We don't have heat because I don't have a job. And the internet just got turned off. So I'm using my cell phone. I've got 4 kids. I'm pregnant and my teeth fell out because I've got this fucking problem going on with my pregnancy. But yeah, I'd like a real good man. Anyone want to talk to me? I'm like, you live in a fucking shitty trailer. You have 4 kids. You're pregnant and no fucking teeth. Who the fuck do you think is gonna date you? She's like, why are you so mean?
Somebody from Antifa.
Like, yo, legit, have you ever like just trolled bitches on these fucking dating joints?
Oh yeah, I do that shit all the time. Like fat bitches, I'm like, hey baby, I got a cattle prod and a jar of Crisco. Want to fuck?
I'll ask them about their pictures, right? I'm like, yo, wait, why are you in an evening gown inside of a construction site next to a toilet that's not attached to nothing, fucking leaning up against a paint bucket? Why were you in an evening gown there? Like, why did you choose that as your picture? Like, what's going on with your life right now? Shit. It's like, yo, I'd be telling bitches like, yeah, eyebrows is on fleek, bitch. Like, why is your eyebrows the biggest part of your fucking facial features? Like, your eyebrows is bigger than your mouth. What is going on with your face?
This one chick, her status was like, oh my God, I just want to die. Someone kill me. I sent her like a string of texts like, hey, are you sure you want to die? I'm like, yo, I'm in Marietta. I have a gun. Or are you sure you still want to die? Like, where do you want to do this? Like, hey, bitch, do you want me to fucking kill you or not?
Can I use your body once you're fucking cold? Because listen, I have needs too. And can I just are you against recycling?
Clean her off and like get to business the second I fucking put a bullet in her.
I mean, you can't let good warmth go to waste. That's just entropy.
No, and then I can like drag her down to the local crack house and make like $50 a pop for a couple hours, maybe like microwave her for a few minutes and try and string it out a little bit longer.
You know as well as I do, they don't have $50. What are you talking about? You juice the
well, they can trade me crack or like weapons, or I'm sure they have some heroin. They have something worth money. I don't care. I gotta make some money off this dead horse somehow.
You got to start an entire stock market for the crack house, where you got to fix the exchange rate of crack, and you have to adjust for the impurity of the rocks. He just has to figure it all out. All for one fucking bitch who wanted to die and wouldn't get back to you. I swear. They all think they're better than us. It's not fair. The one that really fucking kills me, though, the one that fucking just nukes my heart, is when you're scrolling through and you'll see a live feed, and you see like a really pretty white girl, like just fucking like if her the rest of her body matches her face and shoulders, Instagram kind of girl, and and then you tap on her live, and the first thing that fucking hits you is the music. And just, and she's fucking smoking a blunt. Her eyes are half closed, and her half black kid is on fire in the background, shrieking, running through the room. And she's just like, "Hey, what's up? How you saying that?" And then I upload a post saying that I want to die.
Oh god! So my Snapchat name is Poonslayer 420. And this one chick is totally all over it.
It's always a breath of fresh air when you find a girl that can actually keep up with your meme game.
Yeah. Right. So does anyone here ever seen SpongeBob? Like
Everyone.
the opening line that gives me like the best results, like per like times I use it, is like ravioli, ravioli, give me the formula.
Or for Zoomers.
I apologize, man. Fucking my kid had a bad dream. I had to go fucking pat her on the back, put her back to sleep.
And priorities, man.
Yo, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's why I'm up all night looking for whores. That's my priority right now.
Why do you have to look? They're literally falling out of the sky. It's fucking.
Dude, I'm in West Virginia. You got to be careful. Like, I don't want to catch herpes from a methed out whore.
Oh, I don't even like that legitimately has me concerned. Because I met a chick on Meet Me. I drove 2 hours to see her. Within 10 minutes, we were fucking, and then I was out the door 30 minutes later. And there's a lot of girls in my area that are hitting my shit up, and I'm just kind of like, one of them has to have the poison pussy. I'm not even sure. And
dude, wrap that shit, obviously, but you'll probably be fine. Just wrap it, go into the bathroom, clean up. Fucking leave.
What the fuck are you doing on Meet? That is like, that is the place for the nastiest hoe in the area, dude. Like,
I mean, I can tell you from experience, if you're ever gonna go fuck a chick from Meet Me, bring a weapon of some kind just in case.
I learned this at 16. Where the fuck were you?
All right. Yo, look, man, it's been 3 hours. Legit. I have to get the fuck off of here and go to fuck to bed because, like, it's that time of the day for me. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, in the meantime, yo, look, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Fucking Steel Snake, my boy, motherfucking TK Mao, and fucking Frozen, my guy's name? Frost. Yeah, Frost, for coming out tonight and helping me the fuck out. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and watching the motherfucking stream and shit. But, like, yo, it's been 3 hours. I need to get the fuck off of here. Y'all know the deal. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that motherfucking, you know what I mean, Streamlabs link. Donate to the goddamn channel and shit. You know what I mean?
Guys, I'm going to the mosh pit, so see you later.
Handle your business, my brothers. I'm going to holler at y'all. Thank y'all very much. All right, peace.
Good night.